We're coming live to you from the Mariners Center in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia. I'm Randy Furby, joined with Brent Lang, and today we bring you a game from Pool A between Ontario and Yukon territories. Both of these teams are still in the match. This is the final day of the round robin, Brent, and they're still jockeying for a position. I think it's a must-win for Yukon. They've got 2 wins and 2 losses. Ontario seems to be in better control with 3-1. What do you expect in this game today?
It should be a good game. There should be lots of pressure on both teams. Like you said, Yukon, it's a bit of a must-win. I don't know a lot about the Yukon team, but 2-2, obviously they're making some shots. I do know the Ontario team quite well. Played against these guys a number of times over the years, and they've got experience at this event. So if I was betting money, I usually bet with my heart anyway, but I would put the money on Ontario. But looking forward to a good game here. I'm interested to see how this Ontario team plays the game. When Rich Moffat used to skip, they were kind of known as a little bit more defensive, and they're always known as a bit of a slow team, methodical. So we'll see. Now Howard Rahala, who used to play third, is skipping, and Rich is playing third. So a little bit different dynamic there, but interested to see how the game goes.
Yeah, I followed this team. They've been at the Everest championship for a few years now, and they're definitely an experienced team. And Yukon should have their hands full, but give them credit. They are 2-2, and they're definitely still right in the middle of this championship.
For sure.
And like you said, though, this is a must-win, and Ontario has won last rock, so that's definitely another advantage for Ontario. But Yukon being a little defensive right from the get-go, putting one in the house, which is probably not a bad call.
I think the longer they can keep it close early and get comfortable in probably the biggest game they've played definitely this year, that probably plays in their favor. Get it to a bit of a shorter game. I think over longer period of time, experience usually wins, so you want to get it down to a couple of ends.
Don Maffei is starting us off here. Lead for Yukon.
Let's start.
Skip Terry Miller likes it.
Ice again looks pretty great. It's been holding up right from day one to now. As the ice is still curling 4 or 5 feet, and in 14 and a half seconds, it's been just fantastic ice the whole week long. I know the curlers are ecstatic about it. There's no complaints whatsoever. So that bodes for good curling when you do have ice conditions like that.
Absolutely, nothing to blame. As curlers, we like to have an excuse, and the ice certainly is not that excuse this week. You can hear Terry Miller, skip of Team Yukon, there saying lots of pressure on the home team today. The Nova Scotia men's team's playing on sheet E, and as usually happens at national championships, the kids have been let out of the pen from school here, and they're filling up the stands. There looks to be a couple hundred kids rolling in, so we could have some rowdy cheering. Hopefully they have some idea of who they're cheering for. We talked to the kids before the game, and most of them said they were cheering for Ontario, and they didn't even think Nova Scotia was playing. So we pointed out who their hometown heroes are. So we'll see how that goes.
It's great to see them out here. There's definitely a lot of kids in the stands right now. Should be loud and crazy here, and hopefully, at the end of the day, we can encourage or get 1 or 2 of these kids to play.
Okay, Don.
That's the focus of bringing them out here.
Yeah, absolutely. The one teacher said that they looked like they were about grade 3 or 4. They're going to curl in gym class coming up once they're finished with archery. And a couple of them kind of knew that and seemed excited. So let's hope that they get in the club and pick up this great game.
Lead Paul Madden called upon to make the double.
Whoa.
Oh, we got a substitution on Team Ontario today, Ferb. I got to open my eyes. Chris Fulton is a foot shorter. That is Phil Daniel, a longtime curler out of Ontario, a great player in his own right, obviously, and he had some hard luck in provincial finals. It seems most provinces on the men's side and the ladies' side have that one team that gets to lots of finals or gets close a bunch of times and never quite breaks through, and that's Phil and his brother Kevin played back end together for years, and they got to a couple of finals. I know we played them in one final. They beat the Howards team twice in one day in provincials and got all the way to the final. Madaw beat them. So he's subbing in for Chris Fulton, who's definitely not hurt. I talked to Chris last night, and everything was okay.
Yeah, they brought a 5-man team. There are a few teams with 5-man team, and sometimes it's good to have one of those extra guys during the week. And not to say that these guys are in bad shape or anything like that, but it is seniors, and sometimes we have a lot of fun at night too, and there's a lot of festivities.
That's it, Randy.
And, yeah,
I think it's
it's
point
more
B
the fun
there.
at night, so
You know, if I play at this level, I'm certainly gonna want. How's your knee? Gonna want to be on a. Want to be on a team where we've got maybe Phil's the morning game specialist. Every team could benefit from one of those.
getting a little curl here.
Not a great start from Phil. I think I jinxed him. Big opportunity early for Team Yukon.
Put up a guard here and put some pressure on Ontario.
Might see a quick resubstitution. Phil's just asking if he was light, looking for some feedback. I like that. Hey, I didn't feel like that was that bad. What's going on here? Tell me so I don't do it again.
We're not 100% sure if this is his first game he's played, or
I'm not sure.
Or he's been substituted in previous games.
Yep. Yep.
Decent looking guard here. Still got to curl a bit, but guarding a piece of that stone for sure.
Didn't quite cover it.
The kids continue to roll in, Randy.
It's getting more and more here. This is great.
For those of you watching, if anybody has any questions they want to send in, I'll try and check. We'll try and check our Twitter accounts. @retiredcurler is Randy's account, and mine is @blang99, and it's LAING. If you have any questions about the seniors, about curling, really about anything, we can do a little Ask Me Anything. Phil a little over curl again, so probably something in his release that that Howard's not expecting.
So like you said, you are familiar with this team from Ontario, being from Ontario yourself, so you have played this team, I believe, in the past when you were a little bit younger, I'm sure.
Yeah, I haven't played them in a little while, but played them numerous times at provincials and different bonspiels around the circuit. They, like I said, they used to play a lot. Team Rich Moffat, and actually Chris Fulton was our 5th player at our first Olympic trials all the way back in 2001.
Wow.
Was a great guy to be around, super positive, and a great player if we ever needed to call on him.
Yep. Come on.
Calling for the guard again.
Get to that line. Come on, guys. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
I think what, and this is not a dig against Phil. I mean, he's had a tough start here, but I have no doubt he'll play well today. What they're really going to miss out of Chris is I would guess he's the best sweeper in the event. He's always been a great sweeper. He's a super fit guy still to this day, and I think that's maybe something that they're going to miss a little bit today. We'll see how that plays out.
Switching turns now, throwing the intern here.
Rich Moffat skipped at a Brier. I'm going to guess at the year of, I can't even guess at the year, to be honest. Late 90s probably, early 2000s. Another guy who knocked on the door for a long time. Good looking shot here from Rich.
Okay. All right. Good, nice, good, solid control.
We might have a sellout crowd on our hands today, Randy.
It's getting full. Still got a few seats empty if somebody wants to come on down.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Done. No, done. Done.
Chance for Yukon third, Chris Meager here to make this hit and roll right back buried. Looks close.
Just over curled a little bit, but it's still pretty good. I think he's got access to make the double.
Pretty tough to double and stay. I think you might just see them make the double. Possible to stay, but tricky for sure.
Got 4 other games in action at the same time here. Got 2 ladies games and 3 men's games going on.
Paul Madden working this one for Rich. Getting a little tight. I think he's missed the double. So decision time. How aggressive does Yukon want to get here, Randy?
Well, first stand, you know, I don't know. It all would depend if he can get that rock out with the in turn and or the out turn. So, I mean, a freeze to that would be just absolutely fantastic. But if you're a little light, you probably get it with the opposite turn. So, probably this is probably he can achieve the same result by just hitting and rolling on this one.
Yeah, just gotta believe it's gonna finish.
Can hear them talking about the finish in the ice. Not going to see a lot of misses on the wide side unless you're quite heavy.
Yeah. If you're throwing hack weight or just the draw, it's pretty difficult to miss wide.
Yep. Yes. Whoa. Yes. Hard.
Asked him to hold this one straight for him. Looks pretty close.
Overcoat just a bit.
When they say hard early and then you hear the whoa's almost always a mistake.
Yeah.
Not a lot of rotation on that, eh?
Well,
it's hard to anticipate when there's so much break in the ice at certain points in the ice.
Yeah, I guess he's going to have that draw.
Can have a lot of rotation on that.
Just a hair high, and maybe we might get him to stick around over there. Control.
Wow.
It's definitely straighter. Like he
Took me a couple of tries to get to this.
So you can see the challenge. Howard's saying, well, I'd like to make the double, but then they're going to have the come around. But I think that's the lesser of two evils. If you don't make the double, I tell you what they definitely have. They have one on the button buried.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And it's such a long guard no matter where you put that. If he makes a double and rolls out, Yukon will, even if they do make the perfect come around, it'll be accessible with either turn, I believe.
Could make the perfect roll behind the corner guard here and make the double, I think, but that's close to just missing the double too. Looks like he can.
I think it's there.
Yep.
Hard. Hard.
Whoa. It's curling a little bit too much, I think. Boy, now on to Yukon's got the makes a good shot here. He'll put a lot of pressure on Ontario here in the first end.
Yeah. Whoa.
I think it made some sense there just to make sure you hit that one high and make that double. Even if you don't make the double, you jam it and roll it open, you're going to have a makeable shot. Now, if Skip Terry Miller from Team Yukon can make this to the top, roll dead buried, I think Howard's going to have to draw to give them one.
Seems like a lot of ice from down here.
That out-turn draw was right up, I'm sure.
Full slate of games. We've got Team Sherry Anderson, four-time defending champ on the ladies' side from Saskatchewan, playing against Northwest Territories. Yukon versus Team Ontario on the women's side, and then our game, obviously, and then two men's games, Nova Scotia, BC, and PEI in Alberta. Another big game for Alberta trying to hang around. I think he got this one going, Randy. Definitely not rolling buried.
You know what? It ended up pretty good.
Not too bad.
Yeah. So I think there's two shots here. You can throw the in-turn back 8 foot to tap the one off the button for one, or maybe the out-turn double blank, which might be a little bit difficult.
That looks thinner than half rock, Howard. I think he's going to probably end up chasing the one on the button.
It seemed like a lot of ice down there.
Which,
I'm not sure.
It's not a shot you really want to throw in the first end, but
came to here, right?
looks to me like that out turn, you might. No, it doesn't look as great from this angle.
He's elected to take that on.
Okay, that's a high guard, Randy. I'm with you. I think that in turn should be a pretty good path. It's basically the draw the button path. They have to throw in practice.
And it is curling a lot, like we said earlier, so there's no problem getting to that rock.
There. All right.
Good conversation there. Howard's not sure the ice in the in-turn, and as front end, I don't think you want to force him into a shot he's not comfortable with here.
Oh.
Got to risk flashing it a little bit to make this though, Randy. It's thinner
early.
than half for sure.
You probably want to hear whoa early.
Close. Yep. Hard. Hard.
Trying to keep it out there.
What a great shot.
Great shot in the first end.
No problem at all from Howard Rahala.
Great shot. Blanks the first end, so retains hammer going into the second end 0-0, and we'll be right back with the action from the second end.
The Curling Cares calendar is back for 2023. 25 curling athletes from 7 different nations are raising money for various charities. Support them by purchasing yours today at curlingcares.com.
And we're back here with live action from the Everest Canadian Senior Curling Championship from Yarmouth, Nova Scotia. I'm Randy Furby, joined by Brett Lang, and we're bringing it live to you from the Mariner Center. First end, pretty good first end.
Yeah.
You know, there's some probably high-end shots there. It's kind of what we expected from these teams. A little bit of rocks in play, and I expect to see more of that in this end.
Yeah, it looks like Ontario's got the lineup right early, Ferb. Howard making the big shot at the end, had a few chances for the double.
There you go.
You only got to make, sometimes you only got to make it once. And if you're going to make one shot, you want to make the very last one at the end. That's usually the most important one.
Generally, it is.
Yeah, that's why I don't skip. Well, there's a number of reasons, but that's one of them. We do have our first question, Randy. It's Rick Edwards, a super fan himself. You see Rick a lot in Ontario. He's asking if Brian Cochran played in the Ontario Senior Provincials, and if he did, how did he do? And if no, what's he up to? I think he played. I'm not up to date on everybody who played, but I think he played. But interesting, Cochran 1 year played for the Ontario and the Canadian Seniors, and represented PEI at the Brier. I always found that one interesting. I know there's a couple of different rules. This is different rules here than in the Brier. The Brier having one import player.
Easy.
And birthright,
let it curl, let it curl.
allowing a couple of Ontario guys that played against the lot to play out of PEI. Obviously, that can't happen here, but I'm pretty sure he did play, Rick, and I think these guys likely just beat him.
Yeah, he was a great competitor, or is a great competitor. I know he takes his game very serious. I think, last year he won Ontario Seniors, I believe. He was in Sault Ste. Marie. So generally, if you won it, you're going to come back and defending it. So I'm sure, like you said,
They played.
that he did play for sure.
Might need to Google that one, Rick.
Yeah.
We don't have great service here, so I'm going to leave that in your hands.
And can you let us know?
Yeah, sure.
Well, if you can. Whoa. Yep.
Pretty standard start again.
Yep.
Again, Yukon calling it in the rings by the looks of it, and coming up a little short, but a chance to bump his own rock up here from Don
Let it
McPhee.
get behind this yellow. Okay, that's fine.
It doesn't look like we're going to get a lot of offense here. I hope I'm wrong. But all those rocks that close together usually doesn't lead to much very exciting, Randy.
You're right.
You better have a story in your back pocket here, because I
Unless
think it's going to get boring.
unless you get a miss or two here, but I think he's just calling a nose hit on this first one, so we could be wrong here. He's not electing to play the double, which it is there.
Or the 6-inch run back and stay there and force the other team who still couldn't hit the guard if you made that run back. I think there's some value in that shot. Now you're going to see them nose that, and then you're going to see the double on the Reds probably.
So nose hit again.
Solid control.
And we're going to be looking around for a more exciting game.
Well, so far you're wrong in both calls.
It's true.
Already,
Maybe I'm starting to strategize, and if I'm going to say what I don't want to happen, and then the other thing will happen, and away we'll go.
Yep.
Second stone, Doug Hamilton from Team Yukon. Didn't look like he threw that very hard, but more concerning was it didn't look like he put a ton of handle on it.
Come on, guys.
This is definitely curling.
We might have the silent takeout, Randy.
I think he's missed this one.
I'm going to owe Doug Hamilton a drink, but I did get what we wanted. We got action now. I jinxed him, but he didn't put enough handle on that. He kind of just let it go like a butterfly, or like a dandelion in the wind. Now he's going to play this shot.
You like this run back?
I don't. I like the split. I like the split. Spread him out. Nothing wrong with this. I think it's a very makeable shot. I would expect Phil to make this and lie. I don't even think they lie two if he makes it is the challenge.
Might not even be in the house.
I don't think so.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
A little out there.
Oh, Phil had other plans.
Okay.
So certainly not what they called. Not a
Yeah,
terrible
no,
result though.
Maybe, yeah.
So they definitely got to make sure they're giving Phil some feedback here. He didn't look like he hated that throw either, and he's kind of got snake bit on all 3 of his throws so far, and he looked pretty happy with them all.
Yep.
Well, like you said, I'm sure he'll rebound. He's a veteran of the game, and
Yep. Yep.
Did he get it?
a little unfortunate. Just ticked it behind the guard.
Ticked it to a bad spot.
My fault.
So chance for Phil. I would think they're going to throw a come around here, but don't make a liar out of me, Howard. Yeah.
Well, that's gonna be a little close together. I know some teams might play the split and, you know, draw the other side of the 8-foot is definitely a possibility also. Going a little wide here.
In-turn come around for Phil Daniel. Paul kind of got on this one right out of his hand,
Whoa.
but they like it now.
Easy, easy.
Good looking shot
Got a
coming in
really
here,
good
Randy.
line on this one.
Shot.
Yeah, he'll feel better about that one. Great shot.
Couldn't really walk that one down much better.
Just nice, normal.
So trouble for Team Yukon. Need to make some noise here on the runbacks. Love to stick it. Could stay shot rock buried if he hits it dead on the nose.
Done.
He's close.
This is real close. And roll in front.
Oh, just stay right
Throw,
there.
Chris.
No shot.
Just rolled a couple inches too far. Would have been an absolute perfect shot.
Great throw.
Not sure what changes here other than the rocks in play there, but he could elect to do the same shot he just threw.
Oh, interesting.
This is a shot.
I'm not sure what Rich, no mics on the third, so I think we just got the skips mic'd up, but Rich had a thought there. Historically, Rich has leaned towards the hit, in my experience.
Gonna throw a hack weight hit and roll, I believe.
Yeah, harder shot to me than the come round, and not as good a result.
Whoa.
Certainly thrown this one hard enough, Randy.
Yeah, this one's got to curl a little bit. It's trying.
Ontario not a believer in the directional sweeping by the looks of it. Did not try and make that one curl. Could have tried to have
Does
Paul
not-
sweep that one
yeah.
a little, an inch more curl, that stays in the rings. So not the result they're looking for.
No, let Yukon off the hook here again.
Same weight. Oh, clean. Yep. Yep.
No great place to roll here, Randy. I mean, it's not good for Ontario, but there's really no danger here. There's going to
No,
be some
you're
kind of easy
absolutely right.
double.
Okay.
Oh, that's probably the hardest double they could have left.
Probably right
Just
out-
got by the red
on
one.
Nose here. Got to throw it hard and hit it right in the nose to stick around.
Doesn't want to roll out with that red center guard.
Nope.
So probably, I think that's the hardest double he could have left him.
What's that? Well, not
Gotta hit it an
really.
inch high
Roll
and
behind
hang in the
guard,
12
like,
foot.
Roll behind the tee, like, yeah.
Could be a slow start because everybody's still full of lobster from last night, Randy. What do you think of that?
Yeah, they had their famous lobster boil last night. It's what was pretty packed in there. It's You never have enough. I was kind of a little greedy. I wanted another one, and they wouldn't allow me to have another one. But it was fantastic, actually.
It was quite good, and thankfully we sat with the ladies team from Team Ontario, and lucky for us, 3 out of the 5 players, including the coach, are from Nova Scotia. So when we looked lost with how to get into that lobster meat, they just kind of took over.
I thought that would run, like it ran straight for a while, but then...
It's not a wimp's game, that getting the meat out of a lobster, eh?
No, it isn't. It's actually a skill, quite frankly.
It
I
is, and
learned
you
a
gotta
lot,
be-
and they did it so quick. Bing, bing, bing.
You
and
got to
it was
be
open.
aggressive.
Yeah, you do.
See, I'm used to where the places you take me out for dinner, and it comes already,
It's
it's already
right
been
there on
out
the
and
plate.
soaked in butter, and they
You're
put it
right.
back in.
Right.
Not too hard.
Sit top floor. Gold.
So come around here for Team Yukon, still sitting shot rock, and a chance to come around the center and put some more pressure on Ontario. Again, my analysis wrong from the get-go. I thought Ontario would put pressure on Yukon. It's been the exact
It's the
opposite.
This is an important shot here. He does got back, and he can be heavy on this, so.
Got to be in the 4-foot, otherwise a chance for Ontario to hit and lie too.
Yeah, let it come off that hill.
So here I'm talking about the hill. I don't think there's actually a hill because it's curling lots to the corners as well, but
Yeah.
that's what it looks like and feels like, especially if you're not used to. Oh, hold on to her.
Whoa.
Hold on to her, Terry. But it does look like that. You know, it's wide, 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 and then it just finishes so
yeah,
hard.
it
You don't
just-
see that at the curling club you
You're
play
right.
in.
Got a little bit of room. Looks a little heavy, though, too.
And maybe he was thinking back.
Should be okay, though, I think.
Talking it in there. Get over there, and the rock listened. Not too bad, eh, Ferb? I don't know what. There's no double.
No, I don't think there's no double. Not for,
Fell down.
maybe for Kevin Cooey or something like that. He might be able to make that, but
Yeah,
pretty
even
tough.
for the coup. I think you'd need a trick shot like Oscar
Yeah.
and Nick throw. They throw that 200 miles an hour and they
Spinner
hit it on
up,
the nose
yeah.
with a spinner and it goes dead sideways. Those guys got too much, they practice too
time in
much.
their hand.
Can't even imagine how long it took to master that. I'm still trying to master hitting the center line and hitting the 4-foot. And hitting a rock.
Yeah, the game has definitely changed.
Almost fell down there.
All right, T-line, if it's good line or right back to it.
A little too heavy. 4 or 5 feet too heavy.
A little pressure on Howard here. Got to draw the 4-foot. A chance for a deuce, though, if he makes a good one. Going to force Terry Miller from Yukon to make a run back, I would think, if he can put this full
Well,
4-foot
there
buried.
might be room. Yeah, he's got. If he's in front of the T line, absolutely. But
Stay with it for late. Line's coming.
It's got a curl.
Yep,
Playing the
yep,
freeze,
yep,
is he?
yep. Hard.
Got the line for the freeze.
Right up, right up, right up, right up, right up.
still not quite curled. But he is shot
sweep, guys.
rock.
I think so.
But
Left it open, I think
this
so.
is still. He hits 3/4 of rock here and rolls to the center line. It's going to put a lot of
Draw weight,
pressure on
basically same thing.
Ontario.
And even if I just tickle it, sit here, that's fine.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
this call.
Wow. I
Just
didn't throw it
back
very
wing
good,
weight or
so
back 8-foot weight.
I think
He's
we
only
still
got to
need to
move it
take that
6
extra.
inches to sit 3.
It's got to come off the hill, Chris, so we need a bit more.
The old hill there.
I'm a little bit nervous for Terry here, and I'll tell you why. He's saying let's throw the same thing. He's taking the same ice, and I would almost
weight, boys. Just
guarantee you
we
he's
wanna
going to throw it a little
tickle
harder.
the
You
inside
tend
of
to,
that.
because you want to move it. You're in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
You're thinking you got to move it.
He's saying all the right things.
Throw it
T-line
in.
weight.
Gotta wait for it to come off that hill. It'll go in there. Just don't jump it early.
Both of the last two, though, they've been waiting for the curl late. It's curled less than both teams expected. So, again, another reason why I'd be a little bit concerned if he's at all heavy, he's going to hit this
It's
high.
Gonna, yeah,
On the outside, Randy. Sorry, not high. On the outside, Alberta.
the outside of the rock.
Okay.
The wide side.
Wide side.
Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, got a curl. Oh, they like it.
It is close.
Hard!
This is curling.
Hard! Hard!
Oh, I think they lost it, Ferb.
I think they lost it there.
Oh,
He's
got
by,
it
but I
by.
don't know if he's still going to get it, though. that over curled. He had great weight, actually.
Weight was
Maybe
perfect.
a foot more, but I think it
Look like us, or
fooled him.
So not sure who shot rock, but I don't think it matters. I mean,
Looks like a yellow.
looks
so
like it
just,
to me too, but regardless, you got to play this out turn draw for 1 or for 2.
Yeah. I know, it's like you say, a lot of teams will spend a lot of time trying to figure out who shot rock here, and like you say, it doesn't matter. Just get in the hack and throw it, and then measure. And
You're
it's
going to
one,
play
it's
the
one,
same
it's two,
shot.
It's the same
Yeah.
shot.
So Howard for what looks to be a skipper's deuce after being in a little bit of trouble.
They're not definitely shot.
a bit more maybe.
It'd be hard to find that hole back
yeah,
there.
it'd be really unlucky if he doesn't make this shot for 2.
It's always going to curl enough.
Just clean, clean, clean.
Yeah, right to the back, and no problem there
Perfect
from Howard.
weight, and a skipper's deuce in the second end for Ontario, and after 2 ends, well, they're going to have a look at this to see if it is actually 2, but by our monitors, it definitely looks like it. You know,
We'll let you know when we
but,
come back.
We'll be right back with the third end.
There you go. Andrea Ryan's letting me know what's going on.
Like, we're taking outside.
Okay,
12,
we're
you're
back,
taking-
and they're measuring the rock for 2 here. He's got
Yeah, I
1
mean, the
so
hill-
far.
I like working with the hill personally.
We're still talking about the hill.
Playing lots of clubs like
Hope
that.
nobody falls down that hill later.
The old dish.
Yeah, just get it up there. And
Yeah. Actually, one year when we were in provincial seniors, you could see over in sheet 1 where the door was, just short of the rings, you could see the mound of ice. And if you got in the mound of ice, like 2 feet from the boards, it would actually finish in the 8-foot on the other side. So it was just, the key was trying to get around it the other way.
Now that's a hill.
Now that's a hill. You're
I
right.
missed the measure. I was
Right.
listening to Terry's story. 2?
They
I'm going
haven't
with
posted
2.
it yet, but I believe so. Okay, well, we'll be right back.
The Curling Cares calendar is back for 2023. 25 curling athletes from 7 different nations are raising money for various charities. Support them by purchasing yours today at curlingcares.com.
And we're back here live from the
Mine's
Mariner
good.
Center in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia for the 2022 Everest Canadian Senior Curling
like it's there.
Championship.
Looks like
I'm
it's there.
Randy Furby, joined by Brett Lang, and we're here with the third end.
Was it even
Ontario
close?
indeed did score
even
2 in the
close?
second end, and it was kind of a funny end there. I don't think anybody was really in control of that end. The 2 came out of nowhere. Yukon's rock just curled a little bit more. They weren't overly worried about it early in it, and but Ontario put 2 on the board.
Yeah, big skips deuce, as we said. And update from around the rings. Saskatchewan, Team Anderson, foot on the gas, 4-0 after 2 ends against
like you were
NWT.
saying, with the big hill.
Ontario's up 2-0 in the women's side over the Yukon. And on the men's side, tight one, Nova Scotia up 1-0 on BC playing the third end.
Just a little less.
And it looks to me like PEI is up 1-0 on Team Alberta, also playing the third end. We got some answers here, Randy. Social media.
From
From lots of people about Brian Cochran. So he did play. He went 3-4 in provincials, so didn't make the
Wow.
playoffs. And Team Rahala beat clubmate Team LaChance, both from the Rideau Curling Club, in the provincial final. So pretty cool. And another fun fact from, Robbie Doherty?
yeah,
Line's good.
He's telling me that back in the day, your room key at the Rod also got you a half-hour free pool at Dooley's across the street. So maybe we'll try that. Is Dooley's still there?
I think they turned it. No, that's the bar that we were at. I
Oh,
think they
down by the
changed it
water.
to Johnny Patches
that's
now,
good,
I think,
that's
or
good, that's
something.
good.
So great place. We had an opening night there. Had a lot of fun there.
So Ontario switching roles here. They're throwing them in the rings. And Skip Terry Miller trying to generate a deuce to tie this game up, trying to generate multiple points anyway. So he threw up the corner on Don McPhee's first. Now asking Don for a solid control weight, hit and roll behind the corner guard. Got to stick around here.
Hard, guys. Hard. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's fine. Attaboy.
Nice. Didn't quite make the double, but chipped it far enough that when they do draw around that corner guard, it will out-count that one, which is important.
So someone else sent a question here that they heard a lot about the warm weather and golfing here, and did any curlers partake? Yes, indeed. The weather here has been fantastic. 8, 9, 10, 11. It's a little overcast today, but there were some golfers that went golfing, and I think it was Team New Brunswick ladies team went, and they played a little scramble, and they said they ended up +1, and I kind of questioned them. So I think Brent Lang and I have a contest with him, or a matchup after
we got
this.
a target.
We got to take it down, yeah. So, but anyway, everybody's it's great. The weather's great. Everybody's having a great time here in Nova Scotia. There's lots to see, lots to do, and can't say enough about good things about this place.
As long as I can pick our other two teammates, we're going to need some help. I think Kevin Champion from PEI is a golf pro, which doesn't always mean he's good at golf, but I think that probably means he's better than us.
Should, yeah. I think a lot of people are better than me, but
I can't imagine it, Ferb.
Wow, yes, it's true.
Okay.
I hate to admit it, but yes, it's true.
Okay.
All right, boys, still got a chance.
So free come round here. Ontario rolling too far, opening up the corner guard, but I think we're going to pull the string a little bit on this one. Doug's a little bit light.
Okay, Doug. Let's make the next one.
No, Terry's right. That one's kind of done. Got to make his next one. No trouble, really. But not looking like a deuce just yet. Howard going to draw away from the corner guards. Randy, do you think we'll see Yukon? And do you think Terry will call the straight come around, ignore this one?
You know what? I think he might. He ignored the other two rocks in the house, which was the right call. And this rock, I don't think he can afford to hit it if it stops in the tee line. He's trying to generate some offense, and
a little strong here. Sweep that as far as it goes. You can get shot rock behind the corner guard. So surely he's going around the corner guard now.
Corner guard for sure.
Doug just threw this, so he just kind of, he had a good line. He just needs to throw it 8 feet harder.
Generally, if you give them 2 chances, they will be closer on the second one. I know I always was closer on the second one after, didn't say I made it, but I'd be closer.
I do remember one time, Randy, and I was as amazed as you were angry that you had the same draw twice in a row, and you threw it through the house against us twice in a row. I couldn't believe it. Obviously, the front end gave you the wrong number.
I still can't believe that.
We'll have to look for that.
I don't know if you're making this up or...
No, I don't think I am.
I don't know how you would remember that, because I definitely don't remember that.
Because it was always fun when you missed. Unforced error there, Doug. You knew he needed more, but just gave it a little bit too much. And I'm not sure if that's even third shot.
I don't think so. I think Ontario is still laying 2 or 3 for 2 for sure, 3 probably.
Even still, it's still not a great situation for Ontario. I think you're going to see Terry still go around the corner guard again. But important for Rich Moffat here to hit the 8-foot, throw this one somewhere where the come round's not going to be shot rock, but I don't love it when the sweepers aren't even cleaning it.
Looks a little warm again. This looks like it's going to go right through the house.
I think.
It is heavy.
Leaving it there for the
I think you want to make sure this red.
Yeah.
Still going around the corner guard, got to think. Or maybe he thinks, I got to find something we can make.
No, this is definitely the right call. It'll curl here, and they're due to be close on one of these.
So that's the last 3 or 4 shots heavy. Is the ice getting faster? Again, we can't hear the conversation, but you'd really want Doug Hamilton the second, who threw this shot twice, to give Chris some honest feedback of, here's what I did.
Yeah.
And here's what you need to do to make it. And it looks like they got a good looking
go
shot
on this one here.
Doug.
Sweeping for curl. Weight looks really good, Ferb.
Well, this should be buried. It goes by about 6 inches, and
Attaboy.
pretty good shot. I think it's still open there, that he can get that out.
Oh,
Looking to call the freeze.
you can see a little bit, Randy. It's definitely chaseable. Concern might be if you throw hack and hit a quarter of the guard, that red one's going to spin into the
This freeze
rings.
is a pretty difficult freeze when it's in front of the tee line. You know, it's
Looks like you can see about a
looking
third
like
of it.
he might decide to go after it with hack weight.
Key shot here of the end. You make this hit and roll to the back of the button, and pretty good chance you're going to force Yukon. It's getting really late in the end.
Oh,
A little indecision.
I wish Rich was mic'd up. He's always involved in the conversation, and so he wants to throw less weight. I think if you're going to bump this, Randy, it's you either want to freeze or you want to bump it out of the
It's
rings.
kind of a, I think it's in between shots here. The ice looks like it's, I'm not sure, for a back ring.
Yeah,
Barely through, maybe.
it's a lot of ice to be killing it, that's for sure.
yep. Hard,
Might have got that one going though.
Sounded like it.
hard.
It's not very
Yeah,
heavy.
this one's curling a lot.
Hard.
And he racks. Yeah, you know what? I think there was just a little bit of indecision on that shot between the third and the skip there, right from the beginning here. Would have been light if it would have gotten by now.
Yeah, would
Yukon
not
just
have got
gonna
to
split
it.
the house now.
Now he's liking that he left that yellow one over there potentially. A couple of jams. Really a great situation for Yukon.
Okay. Gotta be back here.
So this spot's certainly fast.
Gotta be back here, boys.
I'm going to give Team Ontario the benefit
Come
of
on,
the
we
doubt
want
and
it
say
back
this
here.
is the fastest spot on the sheet because I know they're good
been a few
curlers.
lines back
Gotta be
there,
behind
yeah.
this tee line.
It's behind the tee
Yeah,
line,
it's
guys.
behind.
Come on,
He's sliding
Jake,
pretty
now you
good.
gotta stick for line, Doug.
Have a look.
Hard. Yep. Attaboy.
Okay, what
Great
do you
shot.
do now, Brent? Do you try to just chip that out and
You say,
basically concede two?
you turn around and Howard and Rich are good buddies and you say, Richie, I kind of needed that last one, bud.
Yeah.
But
Too late.
don't worry, I'm going to bail you out. I'm going to make this intern
Still
come
looking
around.
at the intern.
I think
Almost like he's looking at.
I don't mind that.
Oh,
draw. I
doesn't
like it
mind.
too.
I don't mind it too.
I like to live dangerously.
Yeah, and you know what? At the end of the day, it's the third end, and gives
You're
up
up
two,
two.
gives up three. It's,
The alternative
It's-
is what
it's
are you going to
okay.
nose that outside one, which is a
we might
very
even,
precise
Yeah.
shot, and you're probably
Play this.
you got to rip it out of here.
He's playing the rip here, so he's pretty much conceding two here, I think.
And if you do make this, does Terry ever say, well, I saw that he was interested in that draw on his first one. Maybe I'll draw one
Yeah.
around, and then Howard's going to have to make a run back
You could
against
do that
three.
too.
Two against two, and possibly giving up three. So
All right, on the high side.
Fine. I mean,
see high side.
It's an Ontario thing.
This is frozen on 9/10 of it. It's you got to hit this pretty hard, and definitely on the center line side. Good news is your yellow one's probably not going anywhere.
Right.
Because you don't want to bring in that back red. This one's curling, Randy. We got a wrong side Ricky. No, looks like a good shot.
No, he's
Good
okay.
shot by
yeah.
Howard.
So is Yukon going to throw the same freeze or go around the center guard?
Yeah,
Looks like he wants to go around the center. I love this call.
me too.
Not sure what he was pointing there.
wow. I mean, we know where it curls from there.
Dude, I
It's a
thought
bit
that
of a
felt
guess
pretty good.
here, but
A little tight.
I love this call.
hey, I mean, you like that?
Yes.
Yeah, with the way you're breathing.
Say it louder. I don't think he's got
I
his
think
earpiece
I
in.
like it, yeah.
Okay, I'll ask the guys what they think when I get down there.
And guys are going to say, whatever you like, Skipper, right?
Yeah, pretty much. We like
You
either
guys
one.
like going for
We
this,
like it.
or do you want to do the same thing Chris did?
Can't hear them, but any good front end says, Skipper, we got full faith in you. We like this.
Uh-oh.
Too much talk out of the front
Yeah.
end.
I mean, it's 50-50 shot, right?
I think the odds are way better to go around the center. I like it.
Yeah, I like it. He's got confidence.
Come here, get set.
Feels he can make it.
Oh, you hear that? We didn't come here to get second place, he says.
There we go.
Last time I heard that was in the trials round robin in 2017 against Brad Jacobs. He made the hardest chase I've ever seen in my life. Good news for us, though. About 30 minutes later, he threw a draw to the 8-foot through the rings to win the game. So, thanks, Brad. Don't want to be behind the tee line here, obviously, Randy, but a really great chance to put lots of pressure on Howard and force him into a run back. Don't want it to be back 8.
Lots of room. It will curl here.
I like the line. I'm not in love with the weight.
Well, it's actually close, I think. It's coming down a bit.
Bury it, but not behind the tee line.
Pretty good.
No, stop sweeping that. Oh, death. He isn't going to play the run back now, Randy.
Well, the run back isn't overly difficult to get one of them out. You know, anywhere on the high side. Now that I'm talking, if he throws the intern, would get one of them. But he's elected to play the freeze, which is
no, maybe there.
Perfect line. It's just
An interesting comment there from Howard too. Did you hear that? He said, "How do I get it there?" Basically saying, I don't throw it the same way as Terry. Probably Howard throws it a little bit straighter in terms of it won't curl as much.
Come here to get second place.
Or just tee line.
Terry's sticking with it. We didn't come for second place.
But
I mean, it's just unfortunate.
this is not the final quite yet.
No, but he knows he needs to win this one to get to the final.
Pretty much, yeah.
You do take your record with you too, right, Randy? So even if he
Right.
was to sneak in, not win this game, 3 losses into the championship pool is
Pretty tough.
you're in real big trouble.
Especially when these people in the other pool haven't lost the game yet. And
I mean, if anybody's going to come back from 3 losses,
on this one.
it's the old Iceman, isn't it? The Hack came back. That's why
Yeah,
they
he's
sing
in
that
trouble
song.
too. He's 1-3 and needing to
gotta
win
curl.
out the rest of the way. It will curl here. Will it get there though?
Not quite.
I think
Just
it's
a perfect speed.
It's not bad, but I think it's accessible for a 3 for sure.
Hackish.
Had to curl another 2 inches and it would have been stellar.
Yeah,
So we'll see if Terry can make this shot.
Howard
See
really
if it
liked
paid
how he
off.
threw that.
Bumper, I think.
Said I got to take less ice, and he's getting a little bit fooled, and that's something you got to pay attention to out there. Is everybody throws it a little differently. So judging by Howard's, like if I'm throwing hack weight, that's not the ice that I want. Howard just took just outside edge or middle 8 and only got to the button.
There.
And now, but Terry knows how he throws it. Maybe his intern curls a little bit more.
Last end he did get his intern moving on the last end, so
get the speed right here, and I would expect him to be close. Just don't want to overthrow it.
I didn't realize he's throwing that much weight.
Yeah, he did throw it pretty hard, Howard.
Go for him, I think.
Yeah! Yes!
Sounds perfect, Randy.
looks okay.
Clean, I think, is what he's looking for.
He's got it. Big 3-ender for Yukon territories there in the 3rd end to go up 1 point on Ontario, playing the 4th end, and we'll be back with that action.
The Curling Cares calendar is back for 2023. 25 curling athletes from 7 different nations are raising money for various charities. Support them by purchasing yours today at curlingcares.com.
And we're back here with the 4th end action at live for the Everest Canadian Curling Championship from Yarmouth, Nova Scotia at the Mariners Center. And we got a barn burner here. Yukon is up 3-2 on Ontario. Ontario having the last rock here in the 4th end. Like we said earlier, Yukon in a must-win situation. I believe they're 2-2 right now. Ontario 3-1, trying to secure a playoff spot with a win here.
Some good banter there between Terry and Howard talking. Terry's asking Howard if he plays a lot of arena ice, and he said, well, we used to at provincials every year, but now he says not only do we not play on a lot of arena ice, we play 1 spiel a year. So looking pretty sharp for guys that don't play. It goes back to that once you teach yourself how to do something, it's kind of there. Not that they're probably as sharp as they always used to be, but
Gotta be 4 foot, boys.
so Terry asking this one for top 4 after a big 3-ender. Big end here for Yukon to keep the momentum going, and a big bounce back on the table potentially for Ontario. If you could ever score a deuce here, get that momentum right back right away.
Right, and they're capable. They're definitely capable. This game is far from being over by any man. I'm not sure who is in control right now. I mean, the Yukon's got a 1-point lead, but this is definitely by Andy's game right now.
Still in the curling god's hands, I think, Randy. This one's definitely up for grabs, and it looks there's potential here to see a 9-8 game.
Line's good.
Looks like both teams are willing to play offense.
Aggressive, yeah.
Which is always fun to see. Oh, surprise on Sherry Anderson's sheet. They gave up a point, Randy.
Okay.
Forced
what's up
Northwest
with that?
Territories to 4, so they're only up 3 with. That's a fairly comfortable position for them. Ontario ladies up 2-0 on Yukon, playing the 4th end and have them in some trouble. And on the men's side, we've got PEI and Alberta in a tight checking battle. 1-0 playing the 4th end. And BC with a big 3-ender against Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia with 2 huge wins yesterday, beating Ontario and Quebec, 2 of the front runners.
I think they're undefeated in Nova Scotia, so they're leading the pool there.
They are.
Yep.
But
Long as it's
got a
not
deuce
deeper.
set up
Yep,
here
yep.
to tie the game. We'll see how that goes. Terry asking for another one in the rings. I missed the call there, but I think he's calling the come around, and you're going to see Ontario Howard ask for Paul Madden to throw the hit and roll. Pretty no stress opportunity here for a deuce. No center guards is always a nice sigh of relief when you're trying to make a simple deuce. I always hate playing the end when I don't have the hammer and there's no center guard. It never feels very good.
Oh, I know what you mean.
No chance to put really any pressure on them, and just a simple chance for them to score too.
Normal.
Pretty basic end here shaping up.
Whoa! Well done.
Sounds like Doug got this one a little bit wide.
Chris.
And with that extra weight,
Okay.
Just got enough of it.
okay.
Okay,
So
we'll see what he's going to play. His hit and roll, or is he
stick with the
just
hit and
going
roll.
to draw?
Randy, what do you think about the new no-tick rule that we're starting to see everywhere and that the WCF has adopted?
You know what? They've. I'm not sure what is going on entirely. You know, we've gone from 3-rock rule to 4-rock rule to 5-rock rule. Now the no-tick rule. Like, where's this going to end? I mean, the curlers nowadays are so good at what they do, and I don't know if it. I mean, I haven't played it. I think you might be more qualified to comment on that. But I just see the curling going more and more about we got to get more rocks in play. But the curlers are so proficient that they can nullify that at any time at most times. So I don't know if we got to look at ice changes. We've never talked about ice change. Ice changes are right now so pristine, curling 4.5, 5 feet, 14.5 seconds from beginning to end. So it's a little different than when we played a long time ago. You know, the ice was 12 seconds, 13 seconds, curling 3 feet. Yeah, you know, I mean, there was a various, and now they're all the same. So, you know, the equipment now, you know, the sweeping, they're carving in rocks, they're making rocks do all kinds of things. We didn't, we just threw and swept and hopefully made the shot.
The best.
Right. So I'm not sure if it is a great direction or we got to sit down and try to figure out what we really do need in this sport, because how long before the no-tick rule is, you know, before they make that such a simple thing to deflect. So I don't know, Brett, you know.
Yep.
It's had a lot of discussion for sure. So unfortunate there for Doug. He set his first one wide with the intern, fixed it on the second one, but overcorrected and overcurled and flashed, and gave Phil Daniel the chance to make the come around. Came a little deep, but Ontario lying too. And yeah, I think you bring up a lot of good points, Randy. My question always when we make changes is, why are we making the change? What are we trying to do? And they want more offense. They don't, you know, teams are getting too good at the tick shot. So I understand that, and I think if they're initially I wasn't in love with it. I don't like the idea that you control the whole game and you're all of a sudden you're tied up coming home, and their lead's going to hit the center line twice, and you got to deal with double center guards, and it's not a 50-50 scenario, but it's certainly you've won the whole game, and now just for TV or for entertainment purposes, we're gonna have the Olympic final come down to an end where you're giving that team that's been trailing the whole time a little bit of an advantage that maybe they haven't earned. Yeah, so it's interesting. I don't like the no tick just on the center line. I don't understand it. We can still tick corner guards in the rings. Again, giving the advantage to the team without the hammer rather than the team with the hammer. I'm not sure of what's going on there. But I do think what you're going to see if that didn't come into play is you're going to see double centers every end for a lot of teams. That's going to be the best defense. And I don't know if that's good or bad, but I think that's where the game's headed.
I think we get carried away a little bit. We not carried away. We don't talk about these rule changes enough. Someone sits in a boardroom. I'm sure there's few players in there.
Yeah, there's no we.
But we don't talk to the fans to see what the fans like and what they possibly want. We don't really talk to the viewers to say, I like this, I don't like this, why are they doing this? So I'm not sure where these rule changes are actually initiated from, quite frankly.
Whoa.
It rolls out a little too far. So I don't know who's initiating these rules, actually.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That one's the WCF. It started at the Grand Slams where a lot of rule changes. I know Pierre Shred and likes to try and improve the game. Sure.
And
I know his heart is in the right place. Nobody loves curling more than Pierre Charette. And tried it out at the Slams, and some work and some don't. And seems like people like that one. And the WCF adopted it. That might be the fastest rule they ever adopted. I was shocked at how quickly they adopted it. But big chance here for Rich Moffitt. Rolling out there seemed like, okay, we're going to give up 2. But now Rich has a chance to draw around the corner guard again and set up a 3 right back here. But you say we, Randy, and you're right. I don't know who we is. I don't know who they are. All these terms and people we talk about that nobody seems to know who's truly in charge.
Yeah, they change these rules from a 3-rock, 4-rock, 5-rock. There's so many. And it's because teams have figured out how to beat that. And they're successful. They put time and effort into it. As soon as the team becomes successful with it or really adept at it, they change the rule. Okay, we can't have this. But, let's make it more hard or change it. And it doesn't quite make sense to me. A really good come around there. Rich Moffitt lane. There's all the lane.
I do that and I miss it.
2 perfect shots.
There, I make the double here. We give up 2, right?
He's got to play the run back.
We're giving up 3 all day.
Yeah, I don't think he can play a freeze here, Randy. It doesn't look like he might not even be second shot if he makes the freeze. He has to play the run back here. I think he knows it. The one thing I'm not sure he's totally right about, Terry said, even if I peel this off, Howard's just going to draw open side and I'll have this double.
The double.
He could guard it though. He doesn't have to go open side, but I think he's probably right.
Just across nose.
Well,
it's possible to double jam this, unfortunately.
Getting back to the new rules, so after this no-tick rule, what is the next rule that might come to play?
I think the one that I'm pushing for is nobody under 44 in the Brier. What do you think of that one?
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
You know what? You probably get some votes in your favor for that one.
I know a few people my age that might vote with me, yeah. I'm not sure what's on the table next.
I don't know. No hit any rocks for the first 5 rocks, no matter where
we
they're
tried
at.
that one. Do you remember the Moncton rule? We tried that in a slam and it backfired.
Yeah.
It did the opposite. No takeouts for leads. Everybody threw them in the house, and then once you get hit, they just blew it all up, and there was nothing left, no guards. All right, big shot here for Terry Miller from Team Yukon. Basically wants to hit this.
Just peel it up. Peel it up.
Just peeling it away.
Okay.
Okay, decision time here. He is
going
splitting
to
out.
go open side, and it's not an easy double. I mean, there's 6 feet of separation, 5 feet of separation.
So he'll definitely have a shot at 2 if he hits his house. If he hits the house, for sure.
But I think you're right, Randy. I don't think there's enough conversation with all of the stakeholders in the game, including the fans, including the sponsors. I mean, you've been on all sides. The only side you haven't been on is WCF or Curling Canada.
Yeah.
But you've been a player, you've been a fan, and now you're a sponsor. So to bring all of those stakeholders into a room, and obviously not everybody, but a representative, and say, what are we trying to do?
So
why are we doing it?
Exactly. Like I've talked to a lot of fans. You know, I know my mom and her friends watch a lot of curling. They just love watching curling. They have no idea what the rules are about. Sometimes I even watch it. I go, okay, what rule are we playing here this week? Kind of. And I mean, I still like watching curling. So maybe we're going a little bit overboard here. And
That's
no,
overboard.
That's very, very poor throw, and he's not going to be happy with that. Yukon gets a huge break there.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. Are we making changes to try and attract new fans? That would be nice. If that was the reason and we thought it would help, then it makes some sense.
Sure, but the rule changes, telling the fans, like we got a couple hundred people here telling them about I know they're young kids and whatnot, but they wouldn't understand what we're talking about anyway.
That's the other thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and I think a lot of the formats we play as a sport are confusing to follow.
Yeah.
You know, the average fan watching this week, we know that you got to qualify for the championship pool, and
that's it.
And then what happens then? Then, you know, you bring your record and you go to the next one, and all the round robins we play with tiebreakers and everything else. It's just even myself watching the World Cup, super cool. But then their World Cup's over because of goal differential.
Yeah.
Wowzers. Got this one a little wide. Oh, great shot.
Double gets out of the end.
Impressive stuff from Terry Miller so far.
A potential 3 to force in Ontario to make the blank here and retain and give them last rock again in the 5th end.
Important shot here for Howard. Obviously disappointed in himself from the last one. That's a shot he makes 95 times out of 100 at least. So he needs to bounce back and get the team the blank here. Still throws it exactly like he always did.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like he's got any trouble here.
It's pretty good and makes no mistake and blanks the 4th end to still be trailing Yukon 3-2, playing the 5th end, and we'll be right back with that action.
It's a beautiful blend of strategy, skill, and creativity. Curling. But it's our people that make us great. We're a mosaic of countless experiences. We communicate and collaborate. We value new ideas and different perspectives. We learn from our past and from our future. We may even disagree sometimes, but it's in our differences that we can see our strengths. The beauty of our sport is reflected in our people and our values. Regardless of your ethnicity or gender, your abilities, your stage in life, your beliefs, or who you love. The rocks and the ice don't discriminate. And as curlers, we won't either. We will be the change that we want to see in the world. Curling is a place for everyone.
The Curling Cares calendar is back for 2023. 25 curling athletes from 7 different nations are raising money for various charities. Support them by purchasing yours today at curlingcares.com.
Sherry gave up a 2-steal.
She had to hit the house against 3.
It's time to experience the wonder and excitement of Yarmouth and Acadian shores. Stay at one of the many charming accommodations adventure along the ocean coast, or just be cozy by the fire and enjoy some of the darkest and clearest skies in North America. This December, be a part of the action with the Everest Canadian Senior Curling Championship. You'll find all of this and so much more with your special getaway in Yarmouth and Acadian shores.
And we're back here at the Everest 2022 Canadian Senior Curling Championship, coming live to you from the Mariner Center in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia. I'm Randy Furby, joined by Brent Lang, and we're here for the fifth end. Yukon leading 3-2 over Ontario. Ontario having last rock here in the fifth end. It's been a pretty entertaining game. A little bit of hit and miss, I guess you could say. This game is still anybody's game. I don't think anybody specifically is in control, but Ontario, I think it's a game of missed opportunities they had. In the fourth end where they gave up 3, it curls another inch. They're not getting, Yukon's not getting 3. And then here in the fourth end, he's splitting the house to lay 3 and throws through the house. So I'm not going to expect him to do that here in the second half. So we'll see if Yukon can hold on to this win or to this lead, and we'll see what happens moving forward.
Yeah, I agree. And that double, all the credit to Terry Miller. Opportunity there, he makes the double. But if Howard does hit the rings there, as silly as it sounds, that double gets harder. Because now it's against a 3 and not just a chance to get out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I agree, Randy. I don't think you'll see Ontario make the same mistakes. They've had a few missed opportunities. But anybody's game. A couple of updates around the rings while we get our game just getting going here after the fourth end break. Saskatchewan and Sherry Anderson, she's not immune to my curse either. She gave up a 2 steal when I said they were cruising. So they are just up 1 with playing 5 now, 4-3 against Yukon. Against Northwest Territories. And then the next sheet, Yukon and Ontario. Ontario up 1 with the hammer playing the fifth end, 2-1. And then on the men's side, Nova Scotia did cash in that deuce in 4 against BC to tie the game up and have BC in some trouble here in the fifth end with 3 in the forefoot and throwing a guard. So big opportunity here for Nova Scotia. And James Paul and Alberta take a deuce, their first points of the game in the fourth to go up 2-1 playing 5 against PEI.
Yeah, and I believe that's a must-win for James Paul. He's at 2 losses also. So he's final day of round robin. All these games mean quite a bit more than they did in the first day. Sort of jockeying for position, who will be in the seeding pool and who will be in the championship pool.
Yeah, everybody continues to play after today. Is that correct, Randy?
Yeah, I believe they actually play for seeding for next year, which, talking to curlers, it's not a whole bunch of fun, playing for 10th and 11th spot, basically, in the pool. It doesn't, they're not overly concerned with it. But at the same time, it's a social game. They like going out and meeting the other curlers and have a little bit of fun. But at the end of the time, at the end of the day, I don't think too many of them are really, really motivated to play at 8:30 in the morning for a 10th spot.
Especially if they have their Everest key card and get into that secret party in the lounge last night,
That is correct.
Right?
Yeah, that is so true.
So let's see if Paul Madden's experience pays off here. It's always faster after the break. They were sweeping. You can see lead Don McPhee got caught by it, but good corner guard there from Paul Madden and Team Ontario trying to get another multiple points scored here. Part of the fun here is, Randy, Everest does not kick everybody out once you're out of the event. You're not told to leave. You get to stick around for the closing banquet. So if it's not golf weather outside, I guess they're stuck curling.
There is a lot of events, opening banquet, closing banquet. There's receptions, we got the Everest Lounge open every single night, and something I'm kind of regretting because I'm kind of in charge of that. I feel like I got to be there, but it's getting harder and harder as I get older. But again, the curlers love it, and we're trying to bring back, make this a memorable experience for them outside of the curling, and something they'll aspire to come back again next year or tell other curlers in their provinces this is an event you got to play in.
Yeah, mission accomplished. I don't think any of them are going to tell anybody else because they want to come
wanna
back,
be
so
it.
they don't want anybody else to play.
I used to do that a lot.
But
saw
I
it,
will tell
yeah,
everybody
yeah.
because it is a fantastic
Yeah.
event for sure. And I think we renamed the lounge. I think it's Furby's Lounge presented by Everest. Can we,
Well,
can
there
we
we
make that
go.
happen?
Well, we'll run it. Well, I'll run it by Mark Duffy, the CEO, who's actually coming in this afternoon from Houston, Texas. It's a long travel day for him. I think it's taken him 2 days to get here, but he's looking forward to coming here and meeting all the curlers. He knows a lot of them. So I'm sure he's going to put his brand or his mark on this event in a few hours here.
Certainly the biggest curling fan or friend that we have in Texas, I think, hey?
I would think so.
I got to guess so.
Yeah.
So a couple of corner guards there with Team Yukon's second one slipping into the rings and allowing Paul Madden to nose it and stay out of the rings. A good setup here for Ontario.
Okay.
Love to see him just go ahead and ignore that and play a tap or something. Get one in there early that's buried.
Trying to hit this on the nose, maybe roll to the outside, I think, or
hopefully roll away because those yellows are all real close together.
Whoa.
Phil's settled in. He's been close on every shot since the rough start for him, and probably got some good feedback from the guys and has a better idea of what he's doing. Hold on, Phil.
Oh, don't be cheeky.
Oh, might roll back in there. It might have spun.
Don't think it stayed.
Don't think it spun back in.
I got to keep my mouth shut, Randy. People are going to start to hate me.
Hey, Phil. Good throw.
There you go. There's
throw,
some good
Phil.
feedback from Howard there. That was not your fault, Phil. You threw it how I wanted you to. Sometimes curling's a cruel game, and it just seems to be picking on you on one particular game or day. No matter what you do, things don't tend to go your way. I've always found that the more you expect it, though, the more it happens. So you got to be
Line's getting really good now.
a little bit unrealistically optimistic.
Going hard in this, electing to not hit the guard.
Hard, boys.
He's by.
It's a good come
Very
around.
nice shot.
That's a great shot by Doug Hamilton.
Oh, boy, Doug.
Forces the short run back.
I don't hate a split on that, Randy, or a bump it back. I mean, this is a great shot if you make
If
it.
he sticks around. It's got to stick around.
You throw it very hard. Oh, great
Pretty
shot.
good shot. Unlucky to jam it at the back, but it's still irrelevant.
Shot buried.
Yellow sitting one.
Split the hole here. Normal.
Trying to hit it right in the middle and
Thinks he can squirt through, maybe?
squirt through there.
They look awfully tight together to get through there. I don't know, maybe Chris is a fireball thrower here. We'll find out.
Yep.
It's a little soft on release there,
Yeah,
Randy.
it looks like it's going to curl here.
Hard, Dougie, hard! Hard! Hard!
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
Oh, boy.
quite.
That shooter goes.
Leaves
Shooter
it
stayed
still
right in
guarded,
front of it.
Okay, split the house or freeze to the back one here.
I like that. That's a great shot if
Yeah.
you're comfortable with this path, which they should be.
Sure.
No, talked out of it.
Okay.
We're wrong again.
Everybody's been heavy on their draws to the wings, Randy.
Yeah.
It can get faster to the wings in arenas. I don't know the physics or the reasoning behind it. I just know that it happens a lot. And that's from myself throwing too many through the rings in the corners. And
No, guys, it's heavy. I don't know what's going on here.
yeah, it must be the ice. Can't be me. One in particular in the Brier final in 2006. That one really still haunts me at night sometimes.
It's interesting you have to say that because I don't remember too many
Line's
actual
good.
shots made or missed.
Maybe you didn't miss
that
any.
I've thrown.
Maybe
Well,
that was
no,
the
there's a
problem.
few, but
Yeah, I remember both. Some of both. Sometimes I'm happy I remember it because I've learned from it.
Yeah.
Other times it's like, I don't really want to be thinking that right now. Oh, going for the run back
in.
here.
Yeah, it's probably the right call though.
Same
Early
shot.
enough. Well, it's
Third second shot.
third last rock here.
If they don't make contact
Yeah.
here, 3 is definitely on the table. If they do make contact, could make the run double though, which is awfully close to pumping it through the hole though as well.
Done.
Asking Don to
Be
get
a
it
little
curling here.
wide.
Hard. Whoa, whoa,
It's getting
whoa.
interested.
It's close.
Hello.
Attaboy, Chris.
Should have stayed on it, but it still turned out pretty good.
What a great shot. Almost perfection, yeah. It's almost if it curled a little bit more or a little bit less, it would have been right on that yellow one.
Shots. I thought actually if that hole, I think if we caught a piece, well, I think if we caught the back end of the one on the right here, it might have squibbed through. I mean, it wouldn't have come to the rock, but it,
So Rich Moffat, same weight here, draw around the corner guard and just
yeah,
set up the
going
exact
over
same
it. Yeah,
situation
no,
the way it just was.
It's got to be full 8 foot though.
going to whip it,
Sweepers like it early.
yeah. Yep.
Oh, they're a little worried about the line. Speed looks good.
Looks
Oh, they
real
really
good.
got to go here.
Yep.
Got to go, fellas.
As far as goes hard.
Oh, this is a great curling shot, Randy. That's the Rich Moffat I remember.
Perfect shot.
Two great shots from
He's
Rich.
going to be forced to hit the open one now. I don't think he can afford to play the run back at
Good
all.
throws, Rich.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Looks like he's looking at it though.
Yeah, I know. It's, I know these situations. You're never happy with giving up two.
Actually, you touch this, you might
there
be
we
able to end up
go.
over there.
Okay.
Love to see that one.
Sometimes confidence is a killer,
It's
Randy.
there.
I love that he thinks, I love that he came here
Sure.
to win. I love that he thinks he can make anything.
I think he's taking it on.
Every now and
I
again,
mean, if you
though.
just touch, let's play the hit on the yellow, but if you just feather the red one,
Okay.
I think if he does that, it'll shoot it up too high, actually.
I agreed. But there is somewhere you
just
can hit
feather
it that
the
it'll
red,
go
we might be
across
able to
there.
make the double.
It's just a bit of
Yeah.
a hit and hope.
But I mean, that's
Certainly don't want to hit half the red one.
not that it's not the call,
No.
but make sure the yellow one goes away. Yeah, if we hit the red too thick, then we're not touching the yellow.
So he's got it all figured out. Just comes down to execution
Just,
now.
yeah. It'll probably be a little tight on this one, I would
Yeah, I'm
think.
not sure the line is.
You don't want to hear a whoa.
Well, you got a whoa.
Yeah!
Oh, they like it.
Close.
He wants that tick.
Hard! Hard!
Oh, quite.
So close.
Would have liked to have seen that. Looks like yellow is still shot, but
Oh, it
a
would be so
nose
nice to
hit here
catch
would
a
be
half inch of that thing.
what the doctor
so,
ordered,
yeah.
I believe.
I was just gonna throw like control.
I would love to have seen what would have happened. to
Yeah,
that.
Terry wanted it.
Yeah.
Ah. Yeah.
Some nose hit here for Howard.
Right in the nose is pretty good. Control.
Doesn't want to hit this one a little bit high. Any roll to the outside, he won't be second shot. And then probably what you'll see Terry do is play the freeze around the corner
Right.
guard. I don't think he'll still be able to take on the runner unless you roll right out of the rings. Sounds
Oh,
like it's
whoa.
wide.
This one looks like it's out there.
Oh, it's not good.
Oh, no, that was not a very good throw again by Howard there.
Unfortunately
He
for
just,
Howard.
yeah, he's just not quite there today. He's not happy with his last couple of
Straightens
shots.
right up, eh?
But he
wonder-
still has got one under the guard there, and it makes it's a hard shot for Yukon to remove.
Yeah. But I thought sort of out there it was going to be a bit curlier versus in the center. But oh well, sorry.
Yep, get ready for the next one.
Actually, the run back is there. Wow. It's like
Yeah, just gotta believe.
quite a bit of it exposed, Chris.
Wow.
So Howard's struggling with what he's seeing versus what he's thinking is going to happen.
Right. Well, this is a shot that is 100% up to the skip or the thrower to throw this. You know, it's up to him. If he's confident playing the run back, put the broom down. I would have thrown it already. Not necessarily made it, but
I don't even.
Or throw the. If you like the freeze, throw the freeze. You know, you only got to move that. Well, you got to move it about 8 foot and a half, but
the run back.
Entirely up to the skip here. What he feels most comfortable with.
Couldn't agree more. And Terry's going to the run back. Actually, as a front end player, when a skip comes down in this situation and says, "What do you like?" I want to say it doesn't matter what I like. What do you see?
Right.
Like, what's the better result? Well, the better result's the run back, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah. Sure.
Because you can lie 3. And I know it's makeable, and P.S. as a sweeper, I don't have to think much on a run back.
Yes,
so I like the run back, if that's what you're really asking
You're
me.
right.
But what do you see in your head? As a thrower, I always have a preference.
Yeah.
So I would expect skips. I know skips are crazy, but they got to have a preference too, no?
It's close.
Whoa! Yeah!
Oh, they underswept that. He thought he had
A
it.
little bit of a whoa.
Yeah, he thought he had that.
On my knee a little bit longer than it should have been.
Wow. Just a missed call on the line.
Came up at the end.
So?
One down with playing 6. Not a bad position to be in.
Okay, well, he's basically conceded the 2. 1 down playing 6. He's happy with that, if that does happen.
Yeah, he's only tied with playing 6 so far. See if Rahala can draw the button here. That's what he's got on his mind. I know he just needs to bite the 8 foot, but.
Chris, is there a thing around the corner there to refill the water bottles?
Take a look.
Over in the hallway?
Take a look.
The sweepers like it. Howard doesn't seem super confident.
No,
but
they're gonna just clean it now. Needs to bite the 8 foot to take a 1-point lead. No problem. Just clean it. Stops in the tee line. Ontario scores 2 to now lead 4-3, heading into the 6th end, and we'll be back live with that action shortly.
Good sweep.
The Curling Cares calendar is back for 2023. 25 curling athletes from 7 different nations are raising money for various charities. Support them by purchasing yours today at curlingcares.com.
And we're back here. Randy Furby joined with Brent Lang here for the 2022 Everest Canadian Senior Curling Championship, coming live to you from the Mariners Center in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia. Got a barn burner here. 6th end, Ontario up 1 on Yukon territories, 4-3. And it's been a pretty good game. You know, and again, we said this about an hour ago. It's anybody's game. I don't see anybody
I'd be hating it for sure.
that I think is favored here or potentially in the driver's seat, other than Ontario winning the game right now, Brent. So anybody's make a shot here or here. It's anybody's game.
And that deuce set up last end really by a great come around on Rich Moffat's second one. He drew to lie 2 on his first. And Chris Meagher made a great run back. And then Rich was asked to make that come around. Made it, which saved Howard as he hit and rolled out. The come around was so good that forced Terry to try the run back. He just missed it and draw for 2. So big deuce for Ontario, but I agree. Nobody really in control. The game's still totally up for grabs. And 6th end, big end here. You know, Ontario looking to force to 1. Yukon
would
deuce.
love to score a deuce or more. I mean, even scoring 1 here, they don't want to give up a steal, obviously, but even scoring 1 is okay. Not the best situation, but they do not want to give up a steal here at all.
That's for sure. Not a ton of exciting updates. Sherry Anderson found herself having to draw against a couple against Saskatchewan and NWT, so they're up 2 playing 6 without the hammer.
Line's good.
Ladies side, Ontario with another point and 5, up 3-1 with Yukon having the hammer in 6. And on the men's side, BC held to a single point in a wild end. I'm not sure how they got out of that. They were in some massive trouble. So they're up 4-3 on Nova Scotia. And PEI forced to a single point in 5. So Alberta up. Oh, no, they got the deuce. Sorry, tied. They're up 3-2.
3-2 now.
For PEI playing the 6 with Alberta with the hammer.
Got a few rocks in play in our feature game.
Good shots from Paul Madden there. Really exactly how you want to set it up in 6.
Okay, need top 8.
Full top
Line's
8,
really good.
tight guard. Good first one from Don McPhee as well, throwing the corner guard for Team Yukon to generate some offense. Now being asked to freeze down around the center.
Pretty close.
Chris.
Through the hole. I think he's got a really, really good shot here.
Sure does.
Attaboy.
Absolutely works well.
The leads have done their job this
Yeah.
end. As long as they don't burn any rocks, oversweep any, they've had a successful end.
That's true. They're well on their way.
Yeah. Phil Daniel being asked for the same shot. Top 12, freeze on the inside of that red one.
Whoa.
Sounds like Howard thought he was a little wide here, and this one is tracking and must be heavy. That looks quite heavy, Randy.
Outside rock might raise him
Tap
right
the
in.
corner guard in the rings.
Wow.
Oh no, that's quite heavy. That's through the rings heavy.
Didn't have the line at all either. I know, like you said, it was heavy, but still hit it on the outside.
Okay, and with one shot, the end swings completely in the Yukon's favor. And Ontario is nervous. At least they should be. Doug Hamilton, if he can freeze another one on there, Randy, holy moly.
Very good call. Doesn't want to remove anything from play. So this is pretty aggressive call again, but the rewards are very high if he was to make this. This one seems to be hanging out a little bit too.
Corner guard too.
Trying to make this curl here.
This is hitting it thick.
Just, yeah.
Okay.
Little change in the ice potentially, or not being right behind the sheet. It's hard to see how they threw those,
Not
but
bad.
certainly not good results. So line aside, Phil needs to get the weight right on this one. Being asked to draw top 8 foot.
Looks to play the out-turn freeze.
They look like it's heavy again early. They're not touching it.
Okay, line's coming.
7-8 is a little heavy, but
Got a curl.
that's a good shot from
It's
Phil.
not bad, yeah. Take that there.
So a couple of chances here. That red one that Doug wrecked with is certainly usable. I don't know that I'd be hitting this yellow
Could run
one.
that one. Could run the other red one.
Looks like a couple options with that red one, Randy.
Right here.
Yeah,
Into
on
the red
on
or into the yellow.
nose. Yeah, it could, but if this over curls a little bit, it could be disaster though.
On the yellow one, yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I like the red one. More options.
Just nice normal.
Don't ever like throwing a shot thinking I don't want to do this, but
Yeah,
there's certainly a spot he does not want to hit this.
Whoa.
throwing the out turn.
Starting to curl, getting close.
Hard. Whoa. Attaboy.
It's a great shot,
a
leaving
pretty
two
good
red
result.
buried.
Shot, Dougie.
Absolutely, a really good result. I think it forces Ontario to play the run back almost, but
Shot.
it's not an easy run back either though.
Don't think you want to be hitting that center guard. That might be the only thing that
saving
saves you this end. I almost like playing off your own. I know it's early. I don't know how you make this great. Like, where do the reds go?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure. Definitely can't remove them both.
The one coming in across the top on the center line side's going right towards those yellows. Maybe spread the uprights. Is that what he's thinking? I think they're going to talk about this one. Call a timeout, I would imagine.
Kind of like the straight back.
Okay.
Got to be careful of that, though.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty hard to run it onto his yellow ones though.
Key would be if you play the run back, you got to make it and you got to save the shooter. You cannot peel this off. We're gonna go with it. If he makes the double, it's a pretty good result, leaving Yukon buried.
He's got a lot of ice in this shot, so he's probably not throwing a whole bunch of weight. Lots of ice.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I don't think that's very close.
No.
Just peeling the guard here, which is not what Ontario wanted to see happen.
Just going to replace the guard now.
Okay.
Not a bad call. It's Third's first rock. I think it's not a bad call. I'm just kind of...
I'm not a fan of it, to be honest. I think
you
eventually...
would play the double?
I think I'd play a split on that red one maybe and roll behind to protect.
Again.
Your key rock in there, if you're Yukon, is that one that's buried biting the forefoot. So I would do something to protect it, but without throwing a center guard that eventually Ontario's going to come off one of those yellows. And get one in there, and you're throwing them another guard to get behind potentially. See, actually, that's a pretty decent result. He might have left the double, but didn't leave him a guard he can really use. But I like it if it ended up there and you bumped your red one to the back 4 foot, even the back 8 foot.
Yeah.
That would have been fantastic. I know it's precise, but if you make it.
Pretty tough double, though.
Very tough. Got to hit about a quarter rock. Going to kill your yellow. A lot of times you're just going to jam this. And you certainly don't want to tick the top red one into the rings. It's already in the rings.
It's already in the rings.
Oof. Even if you make the double, you're going to leave them a double to lie to.
Yeah.
Yep, hard!
Looks like Rich was paying attention and was wide on his first and took care of that on his second, but this is not by the top.
This is no.
This is on the guard.
The top guard. Does get a little lucky, not quite.
Okay.
Now he's...
you really want to be Yukon this end right now.
Skinny double to lay 3, and tough double.
It's really thin.
Yeah, it's thinner than most people think.
Nice normal.
It's actually impossible to hit it too thin. Your shooter you can't lose your shooter if you hit it thin. Don't think you can ever get it over on red on that shot rock unless he hits a millimeter of it. Big shot here for Chris Meagher, the third for Team Yukon. They like it early.
Trying to curl now.
No way.
Oh no, I think he's missed it.
Okay.
Got the back one. A little fortunate to even get that.
Okay.
So another rock they thought was going to curl. He liked it out of his hand. Ice is straightening up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he's always got the red if we just play a straight guard, eh?
I mean, you only need to
So like even there.
Still not a good situation for Ontario here.
No, I'd still rather be Yukon at this point, at this stage of the game for sure.
Jam it there. I mean, I'll make that shot, but I don't mind this.
What
about this?
I think that double still makes some sense. I know it's a hard shot.
You know, corner freeze. You know, I guess that's not bad, but if you don't get it quite right, it's not great. I guess if we corner freeze,
could freeze right to his yellow one also.
Yeah.
You know.
That's probably the best result. If you can come to your yellow, get by that red one tight and bump it a rock, it would be really good.
Tough, eh?
But they're in trouble here. I tend to like the hit. Your shooter no longer is going to go through the hole now.
Unless we do that.
Any little mistake here with coming into the rings is going to set up at least a 3.
I mean, it ended up in an interesting spot.
But this is definitely the best
So what are you
result
thinking, like a foot?
if you can make it.
Well, it's tough to figure out. I mean, I just have to not watch where they're putting the broom.
So he wants to tap at a foot. Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can hear Terry talking about the same thing that Howard was talking about earlier. Terry says, I just can't watch where they're putting the broom because the two teams throw it so differently.
Little tap, if we can get just slightly low on it. Yeah.
Well, this is a big one. This is
you're right.
Key shot of this end so far anyway. Key shot of the game maybe. Because any little mistake here is going to leave them a double to lie 3 and have a 4th in the rings.
It's close. It's got to curl a little bit, though. I think he's looking pretty. Oh, you know, it might be a little. You know what? I don't. The result is not that great. Nose hit will allow Yukon to sit 3, a good 3 if they hits it on the nose too.
It to try and,
you know.
You all, I don't know.
Yikes.
I don't know. Is it fine? Like, is it better to go right here? If I go here, it makes that double.
I think they're over.
But whatever.
Thinking
Let's just make these two go away.
Yeah, hit and stay.
Just anywhere. I mean, you make the double. Nose hits pretty good.
Nice normal.
I wouldn't worry about where your shooter goes. If you
No.
make the double, guess what? Your shooter goes to a good spot.
Just on that
That's
one
right.
there.
Okay, make the double. Hopefully it sort of rolls, so it's a good spot.
Yeah, you never play the roll here, but it certainly can be made and
Yeah.
roll low where
I don't think you have to make the roll though.
You don't?
No.
you're going to leave him. If he knows that you're going to leave him a very makeable double, I think, but it might be high enough that it might not. I can't see the overhead at the moment.
Maybe an inch, Chris.
Key is definitely making the double in line 3.
Yeah.
Taking some ice here. I don't think this one should take off.
Try to keep it straight.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, it
Did the
picked
same thing
or
Richard
just
did.
took off. Oh, absolute disaster. Oh my. What a break North Ontario gets from that. Not totally sure what happened to that rock, but
Sorry, boys.
Terry didn't sound unhappy early, but he
No.
was certainly unhappy late.
yeah.
That shouldn't curl like that there.
No.
Wow, Richards did that.
Sorry?
Riches did that, but Rich yelled right out of his hand. He had missed his first one
Right.
wide, and he was making sure he didn't do that
I mean,
again.
it wasn't whipped, but it was. Jeez.
Now we puts a ton of pressure on Ontario on Yukon to score here now with a good guard. He's going to be in very, very tough spot here.
Not sure how he's going to score. I guess he is still going to have a shot for 2.
double or something.
Yeah.
A raised double there.
A lot of room.
Ontario didn't talk about this very long.
No,
You're going to force them to play a shot for 2.
right.
The
You
line's
know, they
coming.
could come in and move those
Where?
rocks around
Yeah.
a little bit, and with the intern or
Yep, got
I
to
think
go
that
hard.
would make some sense.
Hard! Hard! Right up. Hard! Yep.
It's a good guard.
I think he's okay. Pretty tough to score 1 here
That angle run double looks
without throwing an angle run, but even that angle run is
looks
pretty difficult.
bad on
yeah,
the overhead.
that
It looks
not
better
crazy,
from where I'm
but-
looking in real life.
angles.
get out of
You're
it?
right. Angles
Across
not
the
very
top.
good.
Half a rock. Where does this?
Looks
Wow.
like a
I mean,
steal
if
one
that
to
rock
me.
springs
Pretty,
out over here.
That
Great
doesn't
shot.
help you. That doesn't happen. The only one I see, and I don't have a telestrator, is the biter, top 12 on the right-hand side of
Yeah.
our screen. Hit that one across the top of second shot rock, and I think you get 2.
As soon as you touch this rock.
You can't stick it. The other way is the run tick-tick, but that would be an absolute fluke.
Yeah. Would be for 2 though.
I think you can make this across
Hard
the
to
top.
call the line on that one.
For sure. I think you can take it on, though. The
Oh,
odds
that
are
shot's
well,
there.
you're going to hit one of them. It doesn't look like there's even a hole through
You know
the
what?
yellow and the red.
How
He's
it
got to
springs
take.
off
He's
of
got to
this
take it
rock.
on, unless he wants to play the out-turn run back and basically
Give
give
him
him one and be 2 down playing 9, which is not a really good spot. But
He's got to take it on here.
Oh, I think I would throw into it.
Looks like it's about a half a rock, a little thinner
He
maybe,
just threw that
third of a
control
rock.
there,
Is that?
and it
That's for the
didn't go
bonus.
anywhere,
This is
right?
to give them one.
Go that way. So I gave you a bit more ice.
That in off the yellow does not help him. That
I don't see how we scored 2 with that.
Maybe to see if his phone a friend left. Can he call the
Of course,
booth?
you get rid of
agree.
the 2 yellows, but like it's just so thin.
He's looking to play in the tick-tick.
That's incredibly hard. It's a bit of.
What's
Oh,
that?
Yeah.
there's one he's never playing. He said.
that? Well, yeah, it's still giving him 1. That shot's giving him 1 all day. Wow.
Wondering if you can get
I
the
can't
red
have a
across
rock
the
here.
top.
I'm across it here. Okay. Okay.
It's tough too. I don't know that this
So
angle
just-
works on the overhead.
I think he's almost forced to give him 1 unless he hits it.
Across the top, the
Like half a
shooter.
rocket
top.
or little
Shooter's
rock?
got a catcher.
Might be there.
It's for 2 if he makes
Again,
it.
it's hard to call these for
I think
line
it's a third of a rock.
a lot of times.
It's a third of a rock, Rick.
Third of rock needs to be smoking if he's going to get
Yeah.
I
that
think we need
top
more ice.
4 moving.
A little more.
That can't be the right ice if he throws it
A
hard
lot of
enough.
ice. Yeah.
I think we need a third of this.
Okay, so Terry all of a sudden out of nowhere looking like he's going to score 2, 3, 4 to bust this game open to
Forced to make a difficult shot here.
save his life. Here it comes.
Lots of ice on this. A lot of broom on this, I think.
Yes! Whoa! Yes! Hard! Hard!
Oh, pretty tough shot, but at the end of the day, Ontario did indeed steal 1, and now lead 5-3, playing the 7th end, and definitely a little bit in control in this, and we'll be right back with that action shortly.
The Curling Cares calendar is back for 2023.
That wasn't possible.
25 curling athletes from 7 different nations are raising money for various charities. Support them by purchasing yours today at curlingcares.com.
And we're back here live from the Mariners Center in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia for the 2022 Everest Canadian Senior Curling Championship. I'm Randy Furby, joined by Brett Lang. We witnessed funny 6th end there where Yukon Territories looks like they were going to possibly score 2, 3, maybe even 4 that end, and ended up giving a steal after an unfortunate miss on Terry's first shot in that end. So now Yukon with an enviable task of being 2 down, playing 7. They, in a must-win situation, they got to pull out all stops here and try to score 2 or 3 here, because if they lose this game, they're pretty much eliminated from the. I'm not saying they can't win, but it makes it very, very difficult from here on in, Brenton.
For sure. That third loss is expensive, as they say in the first round robin here. But they will pull out all the stops. Terry's going to ask Don McPhee here to throw probably 2 corner guards, and they're going to take a shot at. Even if they could score 2 points, gives them a chance coming home. Really don't want to get forced to 1, and giving up a steal is almost lights out as well. So need to make a deuce here.
Terry's still not happy with what transpired in the 6th end, and can't say I actually blame him.
Yeah, he'll be thinking about that double probably for a little bit, wondering what happened.
Line's good.
Other games, Sherry Anderson, she kind of had a blip for about 7 minutes, but now she's back on track,
Line's
leading
good.
7-3, playing the 7th end over Northwest Territories. Ontario is up. They're blocking the scoreboard here. I can't quite see the score there, but it's
3-2.
3-2 for Ontario over Yukon, playing the 7th end, and she does have last rock. PEI in Alberta in a barn burner of a match where Alberta is a must-win situation. Got a great deuce in the 6th end to lead 4-3, playing the 7th end now. And Nova Scotia, BC. Nova Scotia undefeated. BC with 3 losses, tied up 4-4, playing the 7th end with BC having last rock.
Yep, gotta go. Gotta go.
So Terry's called a hit or a bump here, and
Gotta go.
A little bit surprising, a little bit. Could have thrown a center guard, could have thrown another guard, and
Okay, it's
okay,
not
we'll see
bad.
if that comes back to help him.
yeah, I think the play would have been another guard there, but Paul Madden's having himself a game here. He was always a solid player, a solid lead. Set them up nicely here. Phil can actually throw a guard on these now and put some pressure right back on Yukon. Going to be hard, I think, for anybody to throw any hits after this guard is made, if this guard is made.
Where?
It's
Absolutely.
like Phil had his Wheaties this morning though, Randy. This looks like it's at least T-line.
Coming in.
Whatever he had for breakfast, we're going to have to adjust that slightly for tomorrow.
On it.
Yeah, he's back 4 foot weight there on a guard. It's a pretty big miss for a guy of Phil's caliber. You can see his frustration. He's got a good team around him. These guys never really point the finger, never have.
No, they haven't all day today, and I mean each person has had their share of misses here, but
it's actually Phil Daniel we beat in the Ontario final, Randy, when we came to the slaughter at the Saddle Dome against you in 2002.
the slaughter, is that what it was called?
That's what I call it. That's what it felt like in the fifth end. Pfeiffer, keep your mouth shut, Fife.
I think it was Marcel that called that
Well,
one.
whoever it was, it wasn't you and it wasn't Dave. There's a new rule. There's a rule for you.
I must say, there's a new rule
No strategy from the front
from
end.
the front end.
Okay.
Then I just kind of become
People are
useless,
referring
though.
to, I think we were 1 up at the time or something like that, and we were going to draw for 2, and Marcel says, no, you hit it right here, and
We
you
get 5,
4
I
or
think.
5, and I go, yeah, you're right.
And that's why
for the first time in his life.
That's why you curling fans have never heard of John Morris, because he retired in the fifth end break back in 2002.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So open hit to lie 3 here. Important to lie 3. Again, the more rocks that Yukon has to deal with that are open, the harder it is to get multiple points.
Got to make something happen here shortly.
Yeah. I think I like the hit and roll on the left one, and even right into that one on the tee line, and at least make them make a run back.
Done. Whoa.
And the blank hand's not the worst case scenario too. There'll be 2 down coming home. There's definitely an opportunity for 3.
I said it too
So
loud.
you
I
said
think
it too loud. He
I think
heard
you.
you,
Heard
yeah.
me. I like this call. Hit and roll over there. Group the rocks. And even if I know you leave a pretty easy run back, but if Rich ever makes a mistake, he's going to peel out one of his own for you.
Whoa.
Doug Hamilton out turn.
Chris.
Board weight hit and roll looks like.
Hard.
Getting interested by the sounds of it.
Okay.
Pretty good shot. Not bad.
Need to curl a little bit more.
Okay.
Got Howard thinking though. He's thinking, do I play this double on the reds or do I just hit and roll
What
on
sort of
my
weight do you
yellow?
want? Just board?
Looks to me like the hit on the yellow is an
this
easier
might be
shot.
easier.
Yeah. Just board weight, hit that anywhere high and roll behind the corner guard. Really great result if you make it. We've seen Ontario undercurl on some hits. We haven't seen that from
No.
Yukon, but Howard's first rock's undercurled a lot on him, Randy. I'm interested to see what happens with his first stone descent.
I want to be tight here.
Hard.
And he is.
Hard.
I've really got to stop talking.
Yeah, you definitely are jinxing these guys.
I don't know what's going on here. I've got like superpowers, I think, Randy. Doesn't work when I say it to the other team I'm playing against.
I'll
this
talk
year.
to your wife about that one to see if you have superpowers.
Talk to,
Yeah,
talk to
don't
somebody
tell-
else. Talk to Fry. Like talk to my roommate.
I
Yeah,
got
yeah,
tack.
oh, yeah, he would know.
He knows.
He would know.
I see him a lot more than I see my wife.
Yeah, that's true.
Playing a little bump and roll here. Great opportunity all of a sudden out of nowhere. And I think partially because Terry switched that call and made Rich take on a bit of a tricky shot. This one's really curling.
This one.
This one's getting close to the guard, Randy.
Roll it, Dougie. Roll it. All you got. Right in the rings. Hard.
Okay.
Right back.
Roll in the ring, so a little bit of a
back.
bonus from a miss. Turns
Okay, Chris,
into
that's
almost
fine.
something maybe now that it's not going to hurt him. The 3 red ones in the rings.
Interesting situation here. Be nice to make that run back, but I don't think with the score you can afford to take it on with that many reds.
Well, yeah, he's got to look at the scoreboard and check the scoreboard out here, and you know he's probably he's okay with giving up 2.
Right.
Doesn't want to give up more than that.
Right now he would turn around, and if he could make a deal with Terry and say, "I'll give you 2 if you'll take it right now," I think I think he'd say yes. I don't know if Terry would. I think he probably would, but he'd be less likely to take the deal than Howard at this point.
That's good. That's good. Good sweep,
Undefeated
guys.
Nova
Good sweep.
Scotia men in huge trouble here of dropping their first game. Tied without the hammer, playing 7. BC skipped first rock, hitting to lie 4 by the looks of it, unless I'm missing some hidden
And
rocks.
a very good 4.
Hit and roll anywhere low here, and Nova Scotia has to play a freeze to the back one.
Sorry about your first, Rich. I thought that was going to be the right ice.
So fellas, Howard and Rich still struggling a little bit with the ice, and I wonder, thinking back, I wonder if Howard's got his first one might be a little straight, and that's causing them some trouble. Rocks can be different. We see it all the time. There's a huge missed opportunity for BC there, Andy.
Well, it's not. You know what? It's still not too bad though. I don't know how
hard to get in
how
there.
Nova Scotia gets in there. It's still pretty good.
So back in our game here, and are we guarding the middle or we're freezing the side one? I like it.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, I like this call.
Whoa. Okay, yep.
A little soft pick
They
there.
lost it a little bit.
Hard, guys.
They did lose it. Now that gives Terry the opportunity to play the run back now with no risk whatsoever.
Now they can for sure, and really flip the switch here and put the pressure on Yukon to even score 1.
Think I can get away with board or?
See, this is one, Randy. They're struggling with where to put the broom. I've got an idea for them. Let's throw it harder and take the guesswork out. The harder you throw it, the straighter it runs.
Firm board at the most, but
the less you have to read the ice.
Okay.
I don't want. Once you get that in your head, there, you're not sure what weight to throw, where to put the broom. It is confusing, but at the same time, it's right down the middle of the sheet here. It's not like it's way on the left side or right side. Should have a pretty good idea. We're throwing this
right in the nose.
down this line quite a bit.
Board weight is the right weight to play.
Firm board.
My last one going that way had to be thinner.
Just because of what's been happening. I'm interested, Randy. I think maybe it's the way Howard's throwing it. I'll try and have a good look here, but he's definitely undercurled on his first rock a lot.
So it might be popping it a little bit. Is that what you're saying?
Or it
could be the rock,
rock,
maybe, but didn't look too bad. His release didn't look too bad there.
Back.
I think he's got a little bit more than board weight, though.
Whoa!
He's got a curl. Got a curl.
Got a curl, and I don't think he's quite done it. Oh. I think he just had a little bit too much weight on that.
Maybe,
or
too much ice for the
ice,
firm board.
You just freeze in here, or do you hit it?
Just letting Yukon off the hook again here.
Either way, just can't quite get that first rock to listen.
If I freeze. Or whatever.
Yeah, I just set it back.
Okay, so Howard said a little steer at the end, a little feed it back and got it running straight.
No, I
A
think
little
we need to make a play
uncertainty
on that one
for
now.
sure.
He's gonna have to work
Be
that out
aggressive.
if he
you
wants
bump
to
it back,
continue on in his championship, and I'm sure he will. All championship games will be played on this center sheet here for the rest of the week.
aggressive freeze, so
The ranking games take place at the curling club. The championship pool is here, Andy.
I think most of it is all here. Most of it is all here.
I think that makes sense. I don't understand what all these letters are, so
These are all.
Well, see where his other red
Okay.
one ends up, but yeah, okay.
I'm looking at the draw. It looks like a math equation to me.
It's hard to figure out.
I like to think I have an idea about curling draws, but maybe I'm wrong.
Showing the out-turn freeze here.
Good call. They're going to be awfully close together. You bump it, you're going to leave Howard a double.
Doug, if you can go.
And Howard is dying for a chance to bail his team out here.
Hard!
Not going to curl enough, or is it?
I think he's got the chop and roll,
okay.
an even better result than he called.
Oh, perfect.
Nice shot.
I think he still can punt. Well,
He can maybe make that double.
I think he may make that pop it out the side.
Do you think that will
Move
go
it
out
a
if
foot.
I...
The second?
Hit a
It's
half a
actually-
rock here. I think it will go out.
well, but
It's going to hit the
if
yellow,
we-
actually.
Well, this guy's going to stay, and then he might have the double for...
I think you got to try it. There's nothing
Sure.
to lose. I mean, you're going to hit the
No.
middle one.
Half a rock here.
You really got to pick up the pace the next time.
Tight on time, the boys are saying. So they both got over 3 minutes. That's
All right,
lots
just
of time to
control.
play an end, thinking time.
Control.
Thinking time, another rule that came from the
Yeah.
Grand Slams, right, Randy?
There's another one. That was a good one.
Makes a
That
lot of
was a
sense.
good rule, that one.
Don't penalize the teams
Yeah.
that are playing lots of draws.
Right.
We used to time it anytime you were in control of the sheet. So if you throw a draw, it takes
Yeah.
30 seconds. A hit takes 10.
All right, control.
He's going to make everything. He's not going to make... I can't see him getting both of them out of there. Got to be careful because it could spin out up and out. Right?
Okay, so this one's on Terry Miller. He says he doesn't see them getting two out of here. So usually when you say that, your opponent makes exactly what you say you
Yeah.
can't.
Hard!
This isn't coming very
He's
hard,
close.
but he's close to hitting it right.
Terry was right again. We were wrong.
Couldn't get that one out.
I thought he could have got that out.
Could have hit it a lot thinner though, Randy, and harder.
Too flat, Chris.
Too flat.
So he has a wide open hit to take
Throw
two,
more,
and
get a full, sorry, got to throw less weight.
the score tied coming home.
Well, Chris was hoping they could make that triple for
Right. Well,
three, but that the angles are not lined up correctly.
yeah, I think it'd be foolish to take that one on.
It's the famous
close,
X
but-
factor that
yeah.
Kevin Martin talked about there years ago. If you draw a line where you got to hit it to that one in a 90-degree line, that's where your shooter's going to go. Comes well under this left one, this one on the tee line.
So you're agreeing with that analogy then, or
Well, not how he used it, but the actual angles work.
okay?
I'm not sure the X factor was the reason he lost in Moncton in 2009. This one's curling, Randy, but I think he's okay.
He's okay.
Yep. Nice
So
deuce.
wide open hit for two from Yukon Terry Miller, and he ties the game up going in the eighth end. But unfortunately, he will not have last rock, and desperately need to steal in the eighth end. And we'll be right back with that action shortly.
Oh, what a finish.
Curling Cares calendar is back for 2023. 25 curling athletes from 7 different nations are raising money for various charities. Support them by purchasing yours today at curlingcares.com.
And we're back here with the eighth end action at the Everest 2022 Canadian Senior Curling Championship from the Mariner Center, live from Yarmouth. I'm Randy Furby, joined by curler extraordinaire Brent Lang, and we've had a great game here. You know, we kind of thought we might have a game like this from the beginning of the week. Beginning of the draw here, and it's lived up to its billing. Both teams needing a win here. Yukon maybe a little bit more, and now they need the steal going into the eighth end. So we'll see what happens.
Seems kind of fitting. It's been back and forth that we're tied coming home here. Ontario with the hammer, which is obviously a massive advantage. We do have our first game in the books, our first final score of 8-3. Sherry Anderson and Team Saskatchewan, 4-time defending champs,
Surprise there.
continue to roll.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris, let me in.
Ontario looks like they're up 4-2 without the hammer, coming home in 8 against Yukon. And a big score by BC to hand Nova Scotia on the men's side their first loss. I think they scored 4 and 7.
Yeah, it's a big win for BC. It kind of keeps them on the potential. I think that's their first win. They're 1-3 now. We'll confirm that shortly. But that is Nova Scotia's first loss, so that pool is definitely tightening up a little bit.
And then PEI and Alberta on the men's side tied up coming home.
I think there.
I can't see the
that-
scoreboard to see.
Sorry, that was definitely BC's second win. So that puts them at 2 and 3, still in the hunt. Nova Scotia drops to 4 and 1.
Tough pool. Robert,
Very tough,
McLeod,
yeah.
and Rahala all in the same. And the Hack.
Yeah, and
A bit of a slow start there. You got kind
Miller
of
needing this, so he'll drop back to a 3-way tie with Hackner and Craig from BC.
So going for the double centers here, asking for the second guard from lead Don McPhee on Team Yukon. I got another message here, Randy, about a lobster boil. Nick Hounsel, he says, if you like that lobster boil, you should check out our annual lobster spiel, February 3rd to 5th in Nova Scotia, hosted by the Barrington Curling Club in the lobster capital of Canada. I wonder how many places claim they're the lobster capital of Canada in Nova Scotia.
Yeah, that's a good point. Now,
And isn't PEI the lobster capital of Canada? That's what PEI people tell me.
I'm not sure, but I like the idea. Tell me what the prizes are in that. Is like a crate of
Okay, well,
crab coming or
Nick,
lobster
if you're
coming
still
home.
listening,
Yeah,
can we
let
see a
us-
prize list?
'Cause there
we want to
might
know
be-
if it comes with like
yeah.
bibs and everything.
We don't care about $10,000 or $15,000 first prize. We care more about how many lobsters
That's
I can
right.
take home.
Is your lobster boil on all you can eat?
Right.
Button weight.
There's more to it. You're right.
Button weight.
Barrington Curling Club. Not familiar with
Sure
that, but
that
it
is,
sounds
yeah.
like a pretty cool spiel. February 3rd to 5th. It's usually around provincial time, but I think that's
Yeah.
actually the week after our provincials this year. If we make it to provincials, Randy, we got
Well, a
we
good
got some work
point.
to do.
Yeah.
We'll probably see this Rahala team in challenge round. They probably still play some men's. Who knows?
Don.
Trying to play a little tap
Make
back
this
here.
curl. It's got a curl, but it's just got to keep it in play here because I know Ontario's going to try to remove those guards with the next 2 shots for sure.
Weight was really
Yeah.
good. Okay, chance for
take the
Phil.
one.
Just take the one, okay. Doesn't want that other red one. There is a double peel there. He doesn't want to
There
risk
is.
it coming into that.
I'm not sure why he wouldn't give it a
4
go, but
I don't see a huge risk. Or maybe he's
Yeah.
thinking might jam it. It's guarding the side of the 4 foot.
well,
Don't want to jam it back to the center line.
Whoa. Okay, clean.
That looks fine.
Good, Phil.
See how quick Nick is on the answers here, Ferb. No news yet.
no
So
news yet.
He's going to have to keep throwing
Yeah.
some center guards here for a shot or two anyway. But eventually, he's going to have to get one buried behind that red guard. It's going to be the only one he has.
The guard, Don. No. Never then.
This one's sliding and sliding and sliding into the rings.
Okay.
Which,
It's not a bad spot.
doesn't, yeah, it's
Still
not terrible.
think he's got to be careful here with that.
gotta
Leaving
peel
the
that one.
guards up at the top. This is okay. Just he's got to open up the 4 foot to allow at least a draw to the 4 foot. I know we always, when we were in a situation, I'd always try to keep the out turn draw open to the button for Dave. It was kind of his go-to shot.
Is that because Marcel was a better sweeper than Fife? Is that why you were doing that?
No, it's because I was a better line caller and
Guard.
whatnot than both of them.
2.
Okay.
So you know what? It's funny you mentioned that. You know, inside sweeper, outside sweeper, whatever. I'll be honest with you. I just watched those guys sweep. I didn't even know what they were doing. I'd be more focused on the rock rather
They
than
didn't
up there,
know either.
Don.
They were just trying
They
to
were
get really
just-
sweaty and huff and puff.
Yeah,
and-
exactly.
Can you get it past this red one here? Okay, then whoa, off.
I don't think so.
Don't go on the fucking thing.
Oops.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
Caught himself.
That's good.
Well, it's
That'll
okay.
be a
He's
$1,000
still
fine
got-
payable
he's
to Randy and
got-
Brent.
yeah, exactly. Can deliver
I
it
just
right
saw some
after this
tweets
game.
today. I didn't realize on our last broadcast, I guess we were on a stream and John Cullen was commentating and he made up some rules that if you swear on TV, on the stream, you got to pay $10 to a charity or
On
something.
another stream or yours?
On
Stream?
the curling event we were on the weekend, he
or
didn't
even just for
never.
appeal.
I saw him in person. He never said it to my face, but now he's ripping me online.
Well,
saying I
it's,
didn't pay.
Well, you got to pay up. I know he's had that rule
gotta
since
give me
day
an
one.
invoice if I'm
He's
supposed to
had
pay.
that from day one, and
Is
most
he they or
people
them? Because I don't remember being in on that conversation.
Most people have admitted their mistakes, Brent. And
No, I'm not that. I'm not most people,
You're
Randy.
not that guy.
No, I express myself in different ways.
So you want to see the rules before the
I want to
event
see
starts?
what costs what.
He's raised a few bucks for that.
Another guard, another peel. Got to make a move eventually here. I'm not sure what his plan is. Probably eventually the double, I guess, and roll behind the corner, or just a straight draw, which
I think I still would have taken a chance and tried to make the double peel because
Yeah.
you might need that out turn side to get in there.
yeah.
Just a 2 guard. Whoa, just a 2 guard.
Just a 2. I think I know what that means. It's about halfway he wants it.
I learned some new terms. We were in New Zealand this summer, Jen and I, and doing
Never, Doug.
some coaching and clinics for Australia and New Zealand. And New Zealand had some terms. They were saying top 2. Do you know what top 2 is?
Lots of time.
No, I can't
It's,
say I do.
it's top 4 foot. It's like above the tee line and the 4 foot, the 2 foot.
Really.
The
Put a
2
1 in
foot,
front
I
of
guess
it.
it's an
okay.
old Scottish term.
Make it
They had
11
another one,
minutes,
top
we got lots of
6,
time.
which means top 12, like top, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
half
like
the
a
12.
1 what we would call, but they call it top 6.
I'd never heard that before. Breaking the house into, I guess, half. They said they learned it from the Scots way back when.
Huh. Whatever works. You know, there's no right
Yeah.
or wrong terminology. Use what you think is most effective. And
I like the Team Howard method best, and I think it was basically because, oh, Richie.
oh no.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Craig and I always liked it's either heavy, light, or good. Don't ask us for any more
Don't-
information than that.
Well, exactly.
No.
And don't ever call
Oh,
us
yeah,
out on a
okay,
TV
yeah,
game
yeah,
saying,
yeah,
where
you're
is it?
Where
Because
is
we
it?
don't know. So don't ask. If we're not sweeping it, it's probably
I
not.
love it.
It's not light.
It's not light. If you're sweeping it, come and
No.
help.
It's probably light.
I need more.
And
Come
if
and
we're
help, yeah.
cleaning it, guess it's probably close.
Exactly.
Plus, when we were sweeping for Rich or Wayne
Yeah.
or Glenn, it was always close.
Yeah, good point. You had a
Works
good
better
team
than
back
deep,
then.
Like we can use short, but just make it perfect.
Okay, opportunity.
Okay,
Out of
opportunity to
nowhere.
in-turn freeze.
All of a sudden, this is a 50-50.
Got a break. I think this is a must make here, but maybe not.
Whoa, then,
You know, I don't
whoa,
know.
it's
As long as he's not heavy and goes
Then
through the
come up
hole
the
there
hill.
or something. Up the hill again.
I think he's juiced this one, Randy.
Waiting on the hill. This looks like
This
it's got
one-
a lot of weight.
He's going to need an uphill for this one, unfortunately, not the
Yeah.
side hill.
Yeah, he's got he's really heavy. But still
Still.
shot rock. Kind of interesting now. Do you peel that guard?
Yeah, I think you have
You
to.
think you got to, right?
You'll have an open shot for the win.
It's just too heavy for that spot.
I don't even think you take on the double because you don't want to jam it.
Just too
don't
heavy
think-
I
for
think
that.
you just peel it.
Like,
and they're
I mean,
gonna-
I'm
where are they gonna
I'm
go?
Sure the ice was fine. It's just like it was too heavy.
Again, I'm
Almost
not
think we gotta
100%
do this
sure it matters
If we
who
just
shot
hit
rock.
here,
Okay, I don't think you want to hit
after his
for
shot.
sure.
Ah,
Which rock do you
that's
like
not
the least if
bad,
you're
but-
Ontario? I like that one in the top 12 foot the least. That's my least favorite
Yeah,
rock.
you know, we used to think that way, and I think a lot of curlers or juniors should say think to themselves, what rock would you like them to not hit here or
Yeah.
remove if you've got to steal one, and sort of use that strategy moving forward
well, you're the
in
most
your
important person,
next
so that's
games
okay.
here.
Just not showing them. That's
I mean,
all. So you might
they don't
wanna tell
remove
them
that
next
front
time.
rock.
Well, no,
I'm
no.
pretty happy with that.
Yeah. What does Yukon want to happen here? They don't
Right,
want you to hit
right.
that red one top 12 foot.
Right.
So that tells me that I want to
freeze
do,
the
I
back yellow,
want the
maybe?
opposite of
Or
them.
top
So I
4
think I
foot.
want to
There
hit
you
that
go.
one.
Sorry. I'm the one throwing the confusion in there.
Another final. Alberta James Paul scores one in the 8th end to win 5-4 and up his record to 3-2. After starting off this competition 0-2, he's won 3 straight games.
Never calling out that Alberta blue and gold.
They are starting to rub off on him.
So if we rip that, he's going to go probably right there.
Yeah.
Good chance.
It's important who's shot here, if you can tell.
It does, yes.
And it jams.
Getting some singing from Terry. He's pretty loose.
Okay. I like this.
I think that's the right call, Howard. And
yeah,
Yep.
it's for sure the right call.
I don't see a lot of places they can throw a draw that you're not going to have a very makeable shot.
Right. Unless he puts it just biting the.
If he's shot rock and he just
Yeah,
bites the forefoot, you got a bit of a
yeah.
decision to make.
Yeah.
But you could always play off the red into your own, and it's going to stay almost full forefoot. Hit that anywhere low almost.
Just here, Rich. Just here.
Don't want to feed this one out.
He's got this.
Richie's saying clean.
It's okay.
It's awfully
I
thin.
think he needs it to curl a bit. He's got it. Oh no.
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy, and rolled to a bad spot. Just disaster.
You get a timeout, please.
They continue to just misread the ice.
Yeah, this has been a very sloppy game here.
Yeah.
I mean, misreading the ice. I
Man.
have to disagree with you. It's appeal.
You're not allowed to disagree with
It's
me.
well. I'm sorry.
That
I
was in
disagree.
my contract.
That has got nothing to do with the ice. I don't want to be critical of him, but I mean, the broom is not in the wrong spot on appeal. I mean, the
Well, you
throw
never
is
aimed
good.
at the broom. Let's
No,
remind
no,
folks of
no,
that. And
no,
I
no.
get that.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I actually always had a theory that I think you can make more appeals without the broom than with the
You
broom.
know what? I'm a better run back player in mixed doubles.
Yep.
Without a
Without
broom
it.
when Jen's
Yep.
sweeping.
Yep.
Then, because then I just get to throw it where it's comfortable for
Right.
me.
Right.
I just kind of got to feel the shot out. But yeah, there's some truth in that, and there's players that are weight to broom, and there's players that are feel players. And
Right.
There's in between.
So
And
Terry, see if he can adjust his weight a little bit on this shot, and he'll be in a very
lock
good
this on the
position
button though.
to steal this important game here.
Howard's gonna have to make that
Got
double.
another chance here.
So can he match up? Obviously, he knows he has to throw it lighter, but what's that going to do to the line? That still looks like a lot of ice to me.
It looks like
Randy.
a lot of ice.
And his intern looks like he throws a lot more spin.
Doesn't look that. The release looked okay.
It's a good throw, but I just think that's too much ice this late in the game.
Needs a center line.
Donnie!
Trying to make a curl now.
No,
No, I don't
just
think
not,
this is going to quite get there.
not on the right line,
No,
unfortunately.
and he's heavy too to top it off. Actually, the weight wasn't all that bad, but unfortunately, does not make that shot. And Ontario goes on to take two here and win 7-5. So big win
Wild
for
one.
Ontario. A wild game. It could have went either way. Yukon falling to the third losses, and I would like to say Randy Furby, Brent Lang out for now. We'll be back at 3 o'clock or 1 o'clock Eastern for the next game. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you shortly.